Hofstra Stadium in Hempstead, New York, Cablevision presents the Long Island Football Championships. Today, the Class 1 battle between the Lawrence Golden Tornadoes and the Sachem Flaming Arrows representing Suffolk County. Well, hi again, everyone. I'm Barry Landers on a cold, windy, but sunny afternoon. Class 1 championship, a couple of great football traditions. First time they're playing in the big show.
We certainly do, Barry. We have two great teams. Sachem, challenged by Coach Fred Fusaro earlier in the year. They were 3-2 at the time. They've come back strong. And Lawrence, which has been tough all year, one close 14-6 loss to Freeport, but they're back and they're doing very well.
Now, Lawrence with an explosive offense, a couple of the best running backs, and a great quarterback. What can we expect from them today?
Well, I think we can expect an offense that's going to move all over the football field. Great running back they have in Vaughn Sanders. He's carried the ball inside. He carries it outside. Great speed to the outside, a lot of power to the inside. We have a quarterback, though, in Greg Nunn, that I don't think he can discount. Sachem defense has to be ready for him. He takes the ball to the outside on a bootleg, and they have a good receiver in Shamari Willis. They have another great running back in Bashawn Dixon. So offensively, they're talented, and defensively, they're tough.
Well, Sachem has won their last 5 in a row to get here. Very impressive playoff victories. And what can we look for from them?
Well, Freddie Fazara's had his team. Out of 25 years he's been there, 17 years they've been in championship football games. They're here again this year, and they've been underrated. I think that, Freddie has that posted all over the locker room. They're not getting the respect they deserve. Don't ever count a Sachem team out. Great running back in James O'Neill, who's carried the ball, and arguably one of the best running backs on Long Island. We'll be able to see today between Vaughn Sanders and James O'Neill who the better running back is.
Well, he broke Zaraway's record, 32 touchdowns, over 2,000 yards. Should be a great confrontation today.
I don't think there's any question the viewers are in for one of the best games of Long Island football history.
All right, we'll be back. Carl Reuter joins us in just a moment. Get set for championship high school football on Cablevision's LISN.
Nobody beats Long Island Diamond prices.
Now through Christmas, save 50% on our entire stock.
I'm so excited about this 50% off sale, I even shaved.
Long Island Diamond is a world-class selection of all sizes, shapes, and price ranges.
The original Long Island Diamond Exchange. Open Sundays now through Christmas.
Rebel, express yourself. Take your creativity to a whole new level.
Express yourself.
With EOS lenses and the Rebel X from Canon.
Need to brighten your holidays? Wrapping up some last-minute shopping? Genevieve's is open late, 24 hours in many stores, with everything you need for the holidays, from gifts to decorations to stocking stuffers. And don't forget the film. Genevieve's, we'll take good care of you.
Moments away from the start of the Long Island Class 1 title game between Sachem and Lawrence. Two schools here for the very first time battling it out for the Long Island Championship. Two schools with a great tradition. Let's start first with Lawrence. They're coached by Rich Malo. How about some of the people that have come out of this program? Rich Malo himself, he played with Sal Ciampi, the former great coach over at East Islip. The offensive coordinator here is Fred Ciampi. He's the cousin of Sal, and of course one of the all-time greats, if not the greatest player to come out of Lawrence, the late great Lyle Alzado. On the other side, what more can you say about the Sachem Flaming Arrows, coached by Fred Fusaro, one of the top coaches of all time in Suffolk County? Perhaps his greatest pupil? Well, that would be Jumbo Elliott, still playing the offensive line. He played in a Super Bowl championship as well with the New York Giants. This should be quite a matchup. It's Lawrence, it's Sachem, it's from Hofstra, and it's coming up right after this timeout. Stay with us.
Home Advantage Loan from EAB, your full-service bank. We have a way to help you finance the things you've always dreamed about. A way to give your children the finest education. A way to make your home even more beautiful. A way for homeowners to borrow up to $50,000 at very competitive rates with no bank closing costs and possible tax advantages. The EAB Home Advantage Loan, part of full-service banking from EAB.
This could be your pool, your campus, your library. This could be your studio, your class. This could be your team, your home. This could be your university. This should be your call.
We're back at Hofstra Stadium on a cold, sunny Saturday afternoon as we get set for the Class 1 championship game. And a reminder that today's game is being brought to you by Canon USA, by Nynex, by Hofstra University, by the Long Island Diamond Exchange, and by the National Sports Medicine Orthopedic Group. Barry Landers along with Tom Howard and Carl Reuter. Sachem will be kicking off, going left to right. Lawrence won the toss, will be receiving the football. And Tom, a very big win. Sachem kicking off with the wind right here. Wind could be a very big factor today.
Absolutely, Barry. The wind is coming out of the north. Sachem, as you said, has the wind behind the back. If you look at the football Sachem's kicking off with, it's not a brand new football. They're using an old football. You can see right there, they have to have a person go down, and hold the ball right off the start of the game because of the wind and the way that it's blowing.
Timmy
you can see the
Lambertson
pylons knocked over in the end zone. I mean, it's a windy day.
Timmy Lambertson to do the kicking off. The speedy Vaughn Sanders, 22. Greg Nunn, number 2 back. They won't try to kick it down there, but it'll bounce through the arms of Nunn. Nunn will have to let this ball die inside the 10 at around the 7-yard line.
They're saying he touched the ball. Nunn raised his hands by saying, hey, I didn't touch the ball. He was smart in saying that. It went out of bounds, but there's a mistake right off the bat, Barry. Sachem has Lawrence pinned deep in their own territory. Lawrence's game plan is to move the ball with their great running back, Vaughn Sanders. Let's take a look one more time. Nice kickoff, ball is bouncing. Here comes Greg Nunn. He reaches down. It goes right through his legs. I don't know whether he touched it, but because he hustled after it, now he lets it go out of bounds. Patty Wren, the referee, the head official here, said, hey, that's out of bounds. You got the ball inside your own 10.
So they'll mark the ball at the 7. 1st and 10. Greg Nunn is the quarterback. They'll operate out of the I formation. And the handoff going to Sanders. He'll try the right side of the line and pushes his way across the 10 up to about the 12-yard line, a pickup of 5 on the play.
One of the early keys in the game is to see how the offensive line of Lawrence does. Take a look at the backs. Tremendous running backs. Greg Nunn, excellent quarterback. Vaughn Sanders, probably the best running back in Nassau County this year. Great receivers in Willis, Wallace, and Vinny Tavallaro, a tough tight end. Front line, very physical, very good. Took a great Farmingdale team and blew them right off the line in the championship game. Masoni and Ritter, excellent.
Pickup of 5. Let's call it 2nd and 5. They'll stay on the ground again. Sanders again off the right side of the line as he goes behind Abed Canales and Dave Mandel. And he'll pick up some yardage across the 14. Larry Faulkman on the tackle. And speaking of Larry Faulkman, he's one of the defensive stalwarts.
Front 5, Suffolk County Conference 1, a 5-2 conference. All the teams run the same type of defense. Danny Howland, a real good nose guard in the front there. 2 excellent linebackers in Billy Pupley and Brian Johnson, and a good defensive corners. Campbell and Computer. Hennessy and Shanahan round out the secondary. 3rd,
and let's call it about 2 for Lawrence. Again, working out of that power I formation. This time rolling is the quarterback, Greg Nunn, keeping, looking for the first down, and has it as he gets 6 yards on the play up to the 20-yard line. It's 1st and 10. Will Campbell coming up from the secondary, the cornerback, to make the stop. And replacing Chris Hunkler in the lineup, big number 76, is Panetta. As Hunkler injured the last couple of games, missed the last 2 playoff games. He's a big loss at 6'3", 252 pounds. And replacing him in the lineup right there is Panetta.
Take a look at Greg Nunn getting the ball, going around the end. Nice block by Vaughn Sanders on the outside, but he doesn't stay with his block. And if you look at it right there, you see number 9, Will Campbell, come back in and make a tackle. Vaughn has to stay with the block besides running.
Sanders met head on that time by big number 55, Lou Antonetti, the 6'1", 210-pound senior, known as a tenacious player, and also by David Caputo coming up quickly from the secondary.
You can see down block with the tackle. Louis Antonetti goes right into the backfield and makes a hit. Vaughn Sanders doesn't even get his feet out. He gets knocked back for about a yard loss. It's going to be 2nd and 11.
So Tony Panetta, number 32 on the defensive line, replacing number 76, Chris Hunkler. 2nd and 11. Greg Nunn, outstanding basketball player, great athlete. Single setback right now is Sanders, and they'll try Sanders again. Short yardage, maybe to the 21-yard line. That'll set up 3rd and long. Lou Antonetti again on the stop.
Tell you just saw Vaughn there carry the ball, go down, get a little hit on the ground, got a little upset, put an elbow back in after that hit. Vaughn's going to have to take a lot of hits today. Sachem's a very big physical team. They play in a great Conference 1 out in Suffolk County, have teams like Lindenhurst, teams like Longwood, Patchogue, Medford. They're all tough physical teams.
Baldwin really stopped him, held him to just 47 yards on 19 carries, by far his worst performance of the year, but they won that game 18-6 nevertheless.
Right. Big 3rd down situation here, Barry. Vaughn Sanders likes to get on the corner on 3rd down situation. They're in a 1-back set.
All right, Nunn on the option, keeping. He's into the secondary, has the 1st down, gets another block, chased to the near side here by Shanahan, and finally brought down as he crossed the 40. Will Campbell brought him down at the 36-yard line.
And that's exactly a 36-yard game by Greg Nunn, and that's exactly the thing that Lawrence can do to kill you. You can't look at one back there. They have so many offensive weapons. Vaughn Sanders, Troy Crawford, Greg Nunn, Shamari Willis, Bashawn Dixon. Take an end zone look at this. You're going to see coming at you. You have to honor the pitch. And you see right there, number 40 comes up and honors the pitch. And what does he do? Good block on the corner. Excellent stalk block out there by number 7. That's Mike Martellotti with a great job to spring Greg Nunn.
So the ball at the 38-yard line, 1st and 10. The pitch to Sanders, cuts it inside, juking his way, powering his way to the 30, about an 8-yard gain before Billy Pupley, the inside linebacker and all-conference performer, brought him down as they pick up about 8 on the play.
You can see now Lawrence is starting to gain some confidence. Sachem, after the initial 1st down, held them on 2 downs and felt good about themselves, but Greg Nunn broke a big one. Now you see Vaughn Sanders running the off-tackle play. He can do so well. They're starting to move. Sachem has to regroup now. It's 2nd and about maybe 6 or so. They have to regroup right now and have a good 2nd down play defensively.
So here they come. It's 2nd and about 2. The chains have moved now. And looking back, Greg Nunn, as they work from the power eye. Crawford is the big fullback. And they go to Crawford right up the middle. And into the secondary, it's Bashawn Dixon, I beg your pardon. Dixon inside the 20 to around the 19-yard line, brought down by Doug Shanahan and Will Campbell, but a quick burst by the senior, Bashawn Dixon.
And the last 3 times you have right now, a 14-yard gain on that play. The last 3 plays, the secondaries had to make a tackle. They want their linebackers and defensive linemen to make the tackles here, Barry. Take a look right there, right through the hole. No trap blocking, just straight ahead blocking. Bashawn Dixon's in the defensive backfield, picks up about 12 yards on the play. 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line.
Ball at the 16-yard line. Willis now is in at fullback. And on the option, rolling is Nunn, getting a block from Sanders. Good block by Sanders, and Nunn will go into the end zone.
Boy, I tell you, great offensive drive on the initial play. Vaughn Sanders threw a tremendous block on the corner. We talk about the running back ability he has. Well, that time they switched places. The running back was Greg Nunn. The power back, the blocking back was Vaughn Sanders. Great initial drive. Freddie Pizarro, we're in his headset right now, looking from his vantage point. He has to say, hey, we worked on defense this week. We knew the Lawrence offense is good, but maybe we didn't think they were good enough to go 94 yards on about 7 or 8 plays.
9th rushing touchdown for Greg Nunn. He's thrown 15 touchdown passes, and you saw the block right there.
Great block on Brian Johnson. You saw Vaughn Sanders knock Brian Johnson on the ground.
Artusa for the extra point. It is up and into the wind. It will die and miss.
And he's a very good extra point kicker. 27 of 32 extra points. He's hit 2 field goals from 33 and 32. So at the top of the telecast, Barry, you talked about that wind blowing in his face. It actually held that ball up, and it would look like it was going straight. It blew it to the right.
And there's referee Pat Wren working on this great crew, along with the rest of the officials. Guy Becker, George Lang, George Severin, Tom Scott, Jimmy Reeser, and the chain crew led by Larry Foreman, Dick Young, and Neil Verricchio.
Very good refereeing crew out there today, official crew out there today.
Can you guys hear me up there?
Referee Freddie Pizarro, 25th year, as you can see right there. 143 wins at Sachem High School, largest high school in New York State. Great athletes year after year, Freddie produces.
Those 143 wins, 3rd on the all-time winning list in Suffolk County.
Tremendous, you know, a tremendous coach. He's done a tremendous job out there, and he follows with some, you know, some great coaches. Has just passed a great coach just recently.
And of course, the great coach at Greenport, who retired,
Dory Jackson was
is
the
number one coach with over 150 victories. So here we go right now. Lawrence will be kicking into the wind. Sachem will be getting the football. And back deep to receive the kick, I believe, is David Caputo, number 40. But a 90-yard kickoff return against Smithtown this year. They'll let this one bounce, take it at the 22-yard line. And returning the football for a very short gain is Will Campbell. And he'll bring it across the 30 to about the 32, 33-yard line, where Sachem will have it 1st and 10. So we'll take a look at the Sachem offense, which has averaged 22 points a game. And in the playoffs has just about hit that average. How about the offense?
Offense with Matt Clark at quarterback and James O'Neill, what more can you say? One of the greatest running backs around. They have Will Campbell as a wide receiver, Dave Caputo is an excellent wide receiver. But up in the front line, Antonetti, Hollander, and Schiavone, very good, very strong, and able to get to the outside to throw those sweep blocks.
Ball at the 34. They'll hand off to O'Neill. O'Neill tries the right side, lowers his head, but runs in to the tackle of Vaughn Sanders and Bashan Dixon. And you know, you've got speed and strength on the linebacking crews. We'll take a look at the defense in just a moment. O'Neill, after a short gain, is stopped. How about the Lawrence defense?
Well, Lawrence defense is really tough and physical up front with Masoni and Goddard, but the linebackers are really their key. They get with Troy Crawford, Vaughn Sanders, Bashan Dixon, and Mike Callahan, who all four have great speed, lateral movement. They're offensive players, too, so they're going both ways. And then you get to the defensive secondary. Nunn, Willis, and Wallace, great physical specimens.
Handoff again to O'Neill. O'Neill plows his head close to the first down, stopped a yard shy by Paul Kiernan, number 72, arguably their best defensive lineman.
Absolutely, but I think one of the keys we have to watch early in the game, Barry, is you know that James O'Neill is going to carry the ball a lot. The key really is Matt Clark. Matt has to have a good day today, either running the ball or passing the ball, one or the other, because O'Neill is going to be a key. He's not going to be able to carry it all the time, and when they do eventually shut him down, he'll be shut down slowly, but then he breaks those big ones. Clark has to have a great day.
3rd and 1. Larry Falkman is the fullback in the I formation. O'Neill the tailback. Once again, they go to O'Neill. Bounces off a tackle. Good second effort and picks up the first down. They had him initially behind the line of scrimmage, but he was able to break free, and Greg Nunn finally brought him down. Great second effort. You saw Bashan Dixon. Great penetration, had him locked up, but with that leg drive, he just broke
exactly,
free.
And he's not a big kid. If you look at him, he look to the outside. Great speed just there on that stuff, right? How about if you look to the outside, though, he's able to get out there and just keep on moving. We know he carries the ball 343 times for 2,045 yards. That's an average of 34 times a game.
All right, he's picked up the first down. He'll try again, a little hop step, hit hard, that time by Dixon at the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard gain.
And I think that's the key, that you have to get under his legs and lift him up. He's only 6 foot, 6'1", possibly 195 pounds, but if you make a hit and you can get him off his feet, he can't keep driving. Watch how they lock up on this play. You see Bashan step in there. He takes the handoff. He has good vision, but now he gets hit, locked up, wrapped, and brought down. Great one-on-one tackle, just like you draw it up in the playbook.
Of course, he needed just about 70 yards to break Chad Bosch's record for most rushing yards in one season. The great Connecticut back who starred here just about 3 years ago.
Exactly. Nassau Community College right across the street.
All right, play action, looking to throw. He's in trouble. Clark will try to run, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Troy Crawford and Bruce Goddard on the stop. Goddard, number 68, the 215-pound senior. Pressure put on by Santo Artuza, number 55, defensive end.
And Barry, right now, Matt Clark is faced with a big situation. You can see right there, he has the pressure put on him. He's going to have to come now. It's going to be 3rd and 9. He's going to have to come with another passing situation, and the offensive line of Sachem is going to have to give him time right now to get this pass off.
David Caputo has come in as a wide receiver. Jimmy D, an excellent tight end as a receiver. Number 35 is in the ballgame. 3 wide receivers, single setback, and back to throw with time. Looking, he's got a man open, and it's going to be complete for the first down at the 44-yard line. As he found Will Campbell on the reception.
And a pro reception by Will Campbell. He went to exactly the first down mark and turned around. He covered his body. He brought the ball in. You watch right now as Matt Clark sets up. It's solid pass protection from the offensive line. Matt drops back. You can see his great vision. He sees it, and watch, right at the first down marker with a nice possession reception is Will Campbell.
Will, an all-county performer, outstanding lacrosse player as well. Their leading receiver with 36 catches coming in and 1 touchdown reception. Up the middle, they'll try O'Neill again. Check it, Falkman, the fullback, stopped by Dixon and Sanders after a pickup of a couple of yards on the play to the 40-yard line.
And Larry Falkman has only carried the ball 19 times for 104 yards. They don't go to him that often. He's a real good blocking fullback. You saw a nice shot of his helmet there. You can see where he puts his helmet on people. A lot of paint scraped off there, but he'll carry the ball every now and then just to, number one, give James O'Neill a blow, and number two, make sure that the defense is playing honest. Take a look at that helmet.
And Campbell line up as wide receivers to the left and right of your screen. And they'll go to O'Neill, quick hitter. O'Neill still driving as he got to the 35, had to pick up another yard to about the 33.5-yard line. Looks to be about a half yard shy of the first down.
Well, it's going to bring up a third, probably, a third and maybe 1 yard to go here. But the way Sachem's moving the ball, James O'Neill, you can see 32 touchdowns in Long Island record. We've had just this year, the record set by Amos Zeraway last year of 29 touchdowns was tied this year by a great running back from St. Anthony's High School.
Blowers?
That's exactly it. And right now, you can see O'Neill last week in the championship game had 29, scored 3.
3rd and 2. O'Neill will turn it outside. Does he have the speed? Yes. Run out of bounds that time by Shamari Willis, but you can see the speed of O'Neill. He was able to get the yardage needed for the first down. He's got 4.5 speed. He can run inside and pound you, and we saw the ability to break it outside as well.
And that's just it. I think right now we found Lawrence. He was going forward, up the middle, maybe in between the tackles. Lawrence was sort of getting tight upside. They break to the outside. He did a good job with the vision, seeing the outside open. You can see right here, coming right into your living room, James O'Neill turns it out, turns the corner, and picks up 6 or 7 yards on the play for the first.
Actually 9 yards. Here again, O'Neill, not much of a hole there as he tried to plow his way up the middle. Bashan Dixon, who's known as one of the hardest hitters in Nassau County, the nuts and bolts type linebacker, a real leader, second on the team in tackles, made the stop. He's been on a lot of tackles already.
And he certainly has. And we talk about defense being a key in championship games, Barry. Well, a 96-yard drive to start this game. Now another drive that's going to probably end up being 76 yards if they go into the end zone going the opposite way. Somebody has to start playing defense on that field.
Under 2 minutes to go in this fast-moving first quarter. Very few passes thrown. 2nd and 6. Again, O'Neill up the middle, driving as he got to around the 15-yard line.
Very close to a first down, and this is probably going to be, if it's not a first down, it's going to be inches to go with the 3rd down.
Bruce Gotterup on the stop, so Sachem doing a good job, that offensive line firing out nicely.
I really like the way Ralph Gazzillo is getting off the ball. Number 74 is a 6'3", 230-pound junior. He's the only junior on that, he's one of 3 juniors on that offensive line, and he really has done a good job at the beginning of this game opening up the holes for O'Neill.
Well, the clock is ticking down, under 25 seconds to go in the quarter. They have the check at 1:20. We're a little bit obscured from the clock here. You see it on the screen right there. And they have a 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line, keeping the ball primarily on the ground except that one big pass. O'Neill taken down in the backfield. Fine penetration that time by 77 Frank Masson, one of 3 Massoni brothers on this team.
And Frank did a good job of standing the offensive line up. And you saw right that time O'Neill ran into the back of his own offensive lineman, tried to break out and get a hole. You'll see that he goes a little bit to the left right now, but he gets stood up by his own offensive lineman. He has nowhere to go. And when he runs into the back of number 57, Dan Hollander, he has no place to go. And you saw right there where Massoni comes in and makes a tackle.
All right, O'Neill again up the middle. Still driving and got it inside the 10. Pickup of around 6 on the play. Mike Callahan on the stop. And now we're down to 30 seconds to go. They have the wind here, Tom. Obviously, they're driving on the ground here, but this probably be the final play of the quarter.
Don't need the wind, Barry, if you're keeping the ball on the ground and you're moving it, and that's exactly what Freddie Pizarro says. Hey, we can pass the ball. We know Matt Clark can do it, but we're not going to do it until we have to. We're moving the ball very well down the field. Gazzillo, Schiavone, Antonetti, Hollander, and Green are doing a great job of getting off and beating Lawrence up front.
14th play of the drive, 6 seconds remaining. O'Neill tripped up in the backfield that time by Bruce Gotterup, number 68, with fine penetration there.
And Bruce did a good job of sliding through the hole and making a shoestring tackle, or O'Neill might have been able to break through at that point. That's going to be the end of the first quarter.
So after 1, right now, it's the Lawrence Golden Tornado 6 and the Sachem Flaming Arrows nothing. You're watching championship high school football on Cablevision's LISN.
Imagine a camcorder that lets you control focus and other functions simply by moving your eye. Imagine it with a 20 times optical, 40 times digital zoom, an optical image stabilizer. Imagine it offering unparalleled digital effects and a stunning compact design. Now, take a deep breath and try to imagine yourself without one. Canon's eye-controlled ES5000, the new vision in camcorders.
Santa bags are coming. Santa bags are coming. Santa bags are coming. Santa bags are coming to yours. Watch out. Santa, look around. Cause we're coming. Sometime we come.
New Coca-Cola Santa Packs, the only real holiday refreshment. Look for this display at your store.
Holiday refreshments like we bring. A proper Santa pack, it's always a real thing. Santa packs are coming. Always Coca-Cola.
Do you know how many regional calls we make?
Hey, we're building a business here.
Hundreds a month.
Thousands a year.
We're building a building business here.
9X is giving us a break.
A big break.
They call it Business Link.
We call it a business builder.
It's a savings plan.
An incentive plan.
A building business builder.
It's like a volume discount.
Just like our other suppliers give us.
Exactly.
But no long-term commitment.
Signing up's a breeze.
All we did was say yes.
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 With Business Link, we're building our building business, building by building.
And as we come back, O'Neal on 4th and 1, able to pick up the first down from the 6, able to pick up 2 tough yards on the play, and it'll be goal to go here for the Flaming Arrows inside the 5-yard line.
A good offensive job, a good surge by the offensive line right then. They only picked up a yard. That's all they needed. They just made the first down, but they really did a job. And Freddie Fizarro showed, a little courage there going for it. It's, going to be a close game. He decided he's going to go for the first down. His offensive line could do it, and they did.
O'Neal, 12 carries for 46 yards so far. Goal to go. O'Neal gets the call again. Diving to the goal line. He's not in. He went down at about the 1-yard line.
Frank Bassoni in on the tackle, and it was an unbalanced line to the left. They went unbalanced. Lawrence showed the adjustment, but a little bit too late when they adjusted down on that unbalanced line, and you can see O'Neal picked up another 3 yards. It's going to be 2nd and goal from the 1.
Sean Green with a nice block, the left tackle, 6'4", 230-pounder on that last play. Now D comes in with a play from the sideline. Out over the ball comes Lou Antonetti, the fine two-way senior center, outstanding lacrosse player. From the power eye, Faulkman is the fullback, diving straight ahead, looking for the touchdown. He's in. Matt Clark on the quarterback sneak, his 2nd rushing touchdown of the year, and we're deadlocked at 6-all.
And at that point right there, they said, hey, our boy James O'Neal brought us down the field, but we're not going to mess around. We're just giving it to him about 40 times. We're just going to pump this ball in. And you can see right now, Lawrence is scrambling over to the side. They're just setting up for the extra point. They'll bring him back, which they're doing right now. Set up. They're kicking into the exact same wind that Lawrence kicked into before. So let's see how Brian Russo, number 8, their extra point kicker, does.
He's an excellent place kicker. He's kicked a couple of field goals this year. Ball down, the kick is up, and it is good. A little late on the call, but it is good.
Well, you can see it go right through the uprights. Just whether it went over the top or onto the bottom from the screen here, Barry, we really couldn't tell. But they take a 7-6 lead right now. Extra point could be crucial. You talk about the 10 most important mistakes in football. Missing an extra point is one. Fumbling the football is another. There's a ton of them there, and we'll talk about some of them later on.
All right, standing by down on the field. Let's go to our colleague, Carl Reuter.
Barry, thanks very much. I've got a guy down here, 12 years major leaguer, but more importantly, he's out here to watch Sachem because Neil Heaton is a former all-county wide receiver. And what's it like coming back here? Is this something that you would have loved to play in a Long Island Championship?
I'll tell you what, when I played back here in 1978, we won the Ruckus Cup, but I'll tell you what, there's nothing like being a part of a Long Island Championship game. When I played, we didn't have that. Now they have it, and it's just great to be out here. It's a great atmosphere. It's great for the program, great for Sachem Athletics, and great for everybody.
Neil, you went to school down at the University of Miami, so you know how big high school football is down there. Can it become that big up here?
I'll tell you what, I don't know. The athletes down in Florida are really incredible athletes. You know, they play football all year round. They're in better shape. They're used to the heat. But I'll tell you what, the way Long Island football is coming, and coaches like Fred Fizarro and Sal Champion, Joe Sipp, coaches like that, and Roy Still and guys like that, you take care of Suffolk County football. It's on its way.
Neil, welcome home. He's the assistant baseball coach now over at Dowling. Continued success over there, and thanks for coming by.
Thank you very much.
Neil Heaton, let's go back upstairs. And by the way, guys, his college roommate, Jim Kelly, now with the Buffalo Bills.
Not a bad roommate, Carl. Good work. This one, a line drive kick, will be taken by Dixon. Dixon, a good runner in his own right, crashes to the 40. We'll have 1st and 10 up at the 40-yard line. Larry Faulkman on the tackle. So the Lawrence club will take over, 1st and 10. They went 93 yards on 9 plays the first time they had the football. Greg Nunn with a 16-yard run. So both quarterbacks who could pass the football showing they can also run the football.
And usually, Barry, you don't see a high school football game start out with 2 teams taking 80 and 90-yard drives. No penalties on the drives, going right down the football field. I mean, this is just great championship football.
Greg Nunn on a nice play fake. He's got it. Nunn, good move to get away. He's in trouble. Throws with his left hand now, and it is going to be ruled a complete catch at the 37-yard line. Let's see who made that reception. Check it up at the 43-yard line. And we'll get another look at that play.
We'll take a look right here, Barry. You're going to see Greg go to the outside. He does a great job on the bootleg usually, but they have a defense well. They have somebody out there. He has to fight off two people. He now changes, just drops the ball off, has a receiver sitting there on the sideline, and we still, at this minute, can't see who it is. I saw the coverage by Danny Hollander, but I can't see who it was.
It was Connolly, I believe. So it is complete for a very short gain. And in trouble, using his athletic ability, tucking it under and tripped up on a fine open field tackle by Mike Hennessy.
As a coach, you can't draw it up defensively any better. They had to draw it up. They had two people on the quarterback and one on the pitch man. There was no way that Greg Nunn could pitch the ball, but what did he do? He just faked the pitch and turned on the speed, came right into your living room. Watch this. He comes down the line. He fakes the pitch there, and he just out-hustles to the corner, 44 Larry Forkman. That was, you can't teach those things. He just did that naturally.
So they pick up the first down to make it third. It's third and about a yard here.
Big play here right now because Sachem should really pound it up. I'd be packing about 6 guys in the box trying to stop him.
Out of that power I formation. And again, faking. Here's Nunn looking to throw the left-hander. He's in trouble on the sideline and throws. Knocked down. Will Campbell was there and almost had an interception.
Now they're in a punt situation right now. We're going to see them punt for the first time because they're at the 50. I don't think you take a chance of going for it on 4th down this early in the game from inside your own territory. However, you saw Sachem's defense is doing a very good job right now because they've got that bootleg covered. You see right here where Nunn has 2 or 3 guys on him. He has to get rid of it now. A good defensive play because he did have an open receiver down the field, and he was open earlier. Greg just couldn't see him.
Nice containment that time. They wouldn't let him get outside to turn the corner.
They're kicking with the wind now. Greg has a good foot. He averages about 36 yards. That's a good foot for a high school kicker to see what they can do.
O'Neal is one of the deep men back. Fake by Nunn. He's got a long way to try to pick up the first down, and he does. He gets to the 48-yard line.
I don't care who he is. I think he did that all on his own. I really believe that was not a fake punt, and I'm taking Greg by the face mask right now, and I'm talking to that kid on the sideline. He ran into Richie Marlowe's sideline. I'm saying, hey, you got away with that. You ever do that again, first string, no first string, great quarterback and no great quarterback, your tail will be on the bench. Don't scare me like that, son.
Well, he's a guy known for making smart decisions.
Not a smart decision. That's not a smart decision. Take a look at this high snap. He was getting ready to punt. All of a sudden he says, hey, wait a second. I think I can get to the outside. But look at the number of black jerseys he has to get past. 1. Now he starts seeing it. 2, 3, 4. There were 5 guys there. His great athletic ability got him there. But one great athlete from Sachem could have stopped him. Too scary for me.
Initially got around Larry Falkman, number 44. Nunn play action, dropping straight back, looking, throwing deep. He's got a man out there, Willis.
Willis stopped, turned around. He got himself turned around and shoulder. He was looking over his left shoulder to go and had to turn back right. You don't stop on that, Shamari. He stopped his pattern. Good pass. He had the defensive back beat. He has to keep running with the ball, and he didn't. You take a look here as Greg is back. He has the receiver down the left sideline, and you'll watch as Shamari turns around. He's looking over. You can see his right shoulder now. Now he looks over. His whole body turns. To go over his left shoulder. Number 26.
Doug Shanahan, number 26, playing with a cast on that broken left hand.
Well, he's back in. He's been out for a couple games, came back for long. We didn't play in the game, but was ready to go, and now he's back in the defensive backfield for Sachem.
2nd and 10 for Nunn. Remember, he threw 15 touchdown passes this year. This time, Sanders gets very short yardage to the 45, about a pickup of 3 before he's brought down, setting up a 3rd and long play. Tony Panetta, number 32 on the tackle.
As a coach, I question, though, right now, and you take a look right there, you can see Shanahan's left wrist, and it is padded. As a coach, I question the tactics, though, right now of what's happening with Lawrence. They've changed their whole plan. 3 or 4 attempted passes. They've been running the ball very effectively. They moved down the field 96 yards on the opening drive, running the football. Why go to the air? Don't mix things up. Do what you do best. Run the ball.
Nunn picked up 58 yards on that opening drive. On the option, he'll pitch it. A bad pitch to Willis. Willis trying to get control of the ball, and they say that maybe Sachem's got it there. Let's see. They fight for the ball. It is Sachem ball. And the Sachem fans on the near side really enjoying it. But a bad pitch there, as they did not have the right alignment on that pitch.
Talked about the 10 most important mistakes in football before, Barry. Missing an extra point is 1. Fumbling a football is 2. Being penalized is 3. Having a punt blocked is 4. Or missing a punt run, which he almost did before. But look, again, another bad decision. Not good relationship there. Threw it out too far. Stop, plant, and turn your back foot towards your pitch man. He just threw it out with his left hand a little bit too far. And the recovery right now by David Gonzalez.
Number 49 coming up with the football. Sachem will go on the ground to O'Neal. Tripped up at the line of scrimmage. Fell forward as Santo Artuza got a piece of him. Boy, I'll tell you, both Sanders and O'Neal have great quick bursts right off the line of scrimmage. And we're joined by Don Snyder, the legendary former Farmingdale coach.
And Don's here with us in the booth right now. Don is the assistant coordinator of Nassau County football. Don has been in the championship game, the inaugural championship game of Conference 1, Don, against Connecticut. What do you think about this matchup?
Well, this is a great matchup, Tom. 2 fine teams, 2 premier backs, both in Sanders and O'Neal. And you can see it being displayed out here in the field today.
All right, O'Neal will try to turn the corner. Great open field tackle, tripped up by Shamari Willis, and Greg Nunn coming up quickly.
And I'll tell you, you are, as Don's saying, seeing great football here with premier running backs, with good defensive players that we just saw there. Don was the winningest coach in Nassau County football. Howie Votes, which we'll talk about maybe a little bit later, has taken over that. But 2 great coaches that we have, and we see Don right there to your left of the screen, joined with us in the booth with Barry and myself. We have Richie Malo, a coach from Lawrence that you've coached against. In a second, we'll get back and talk about him.
All right, back to throw. Clark with time. Now trying to drill it in, complete to Campbell. And Campbell, a second fine catch, picks up the first down. Excellent recognition of where the first down marker was for the second time by Will Campbell.
He did it again and picked up the first down by inches. If he did, it's on the other side, so he did. He picked it up by inches. Now, Don, we talked about Rich Mile. He's been at Lawrence for 25 years. You've had the pleasure of coaching against him. What type of coach is Rich?
Rich is a very dedicated coach, as you well know. He works well with the kids. He has a great rapport. He does a great job. He has a fine staff that works with him. And it was always a privilege and a pleasure to work against Richie on the opposite sidelines.
And as Don is talking, we just saw that ball may have come out, Barry. It may have bounced on the ground, and you saw at the end of your picture, you saw number 2, Greg Nunn, come in saying no, it was incomplete, and he might have been right on that call.
O'Neal, short yardage again. They've done a pretty good job stopping O'Neal from breaking any long ones.
Well, that's a short gain, and one of the things about James O'Neal is that he does get stopped 4, 5, 6 times in a row. You see Freddie Fazaro over on the sideline right now talking to his assistant coach. That's Mark Wojciechowski, and Mark was a great wrestler in his own right for Sachem years ago back in the early 80s.
O'Neal's carried 16 times for 51 yards. Last week did a good job holding him to 110 yards on 36 carries in the victory over Longwood. Now Faulkman on the carry, again short yardage inside the 35 to about the 33. Bashan Dixon, one of the tacklers.
And Don, talking about Richie Mauer, we can also talk a little bit about Fred Fazaro. I guess you've never had the pleasure of coaching against him because you only played in that game against Connecticut and Nick Massey, the coach. But Freddie's been there for 17 years at Sachem with a great record, 126 wins, 45 victories. Obviously, you would know about putting wins like that up on the board.
All right, gentlemen.
Does a great job as well.
Sachem 4 for 5 on third down conversions, 3rd and 3 here. O'Neal slammed back by Bashan Dixon, a guy they say doesn't get the recognition he deserves with all the big stars like Sanders and Nunn, but pound for pound, this kid is about as good as anyone around.
And Barry, this is what has to happen for Lawrence to start taking control of the ball game. They have to count on their linebackers. Their defensive line is getting blown off by Sachem's offense. Take a look at that hit. Bashan Dixon comes in on a blitz, gets into the backfield. They have 4 great linebackers: Callahan, Crawford, Sanders, and Dixon. Athletic ability, excellent. You can see Freddie, the coaching staff over there, Freddie Fazaro in the middle. A little concerned about what happened because they're coming up now with a 4th and 3. Big offensive, big defensive play. Let's take a look.
All right, 4th and 3. Play action. Clark going to tuck it under, looking for the first down, runs into his own man, and right there also to help him is Mike Callahan, number 24, one of those outside linebackers you just talked about.
All that was a rollout to the opposite side, a little bootleg coming back. They had a guard out in front of him to block, and what the guard did is the guard stopped and tried to block and actually got knocked back, and as you said, Barry, Matt Clark ran into the back of his own man. You can't do that when you're looking for a first down. Big defensive stand right there, because after the fumble, there was only 15 yards. After a 76-yard drive the first time Sachem had the ball, and picking up the ball inside the 50, you would think they'd be able to move it.
Time out on the field. We'll be right back. You're watching Championship High School Football on Cablevision's LISN.
Nobody beats Long Island Diamond prices.
Now through Christmas, save 50% on our entire stock.
I'm so excited about this 50% off sale, I even shaved.
Long Island Diamond is a world-class selection of all sizes, shapes, and price ranges.
The original Long Island Diamond Exchange. Open Sundays now through Christmas.
Rebel, express yourself. Take your creativity to a whole new level.
Express yourself.
With EOS lenses and the Rebel X from Canon.
Barry Landers along with Tom Howard and joined by Don Snyder in the booth. And Tom, Don Snyder loves these Long Island Championships. He was a part of it, as you mentioned earlier.
He certainly hasn't. And Don, after, watching most of the second quarter and watching the whole first quarter, what have you seen so far?
Well, I've seen, as I mentioned, the two premier quarterbacks. They were running backs, rather, excuse me. But Lawrence, I think, is blitzing the linebackers a little bit more to try to get to O'Neill before he gets under a head of steam. And I think it's been successful this second quarter.
Nunn tripped up after he gained about 8 yards by linebacker Brian Johnson, number 39. And nice pickup on first down. It'll set up 2nd and 2.
And it has. And one of the things Don was talking about, as far as defensively, you saw that on the last drive, Lawrence blitzing the linebackers. But one of the things I've noticed offensively is some of the offensive weapons that Lawrence has. Sachem has only used James O'Neill. Matt Clark has come up with 2 big passes, but he has to get to the outside maybe on a couple of runs to open up their offense a little more.
Dixon going in motion. Sanders, not much of a hole. Good job by Sachem. But he did pick up the necessary 2 or 3 yards for the first down.
And that, Barry, I'm sorry, that showed me where Vaughn Sanders knows what he's doing. He didn't try to get to the outside and maybe get shoestring tackle and miss the first down. He put his shoulders down, he went behind his box, and he picked up the first down. Now you have 4 more plays to move the chains one more time. Smart move on his part.
Well, of course, last week he had a big game, Don Snyder, against your old ball club. 27 carries, 163 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Yes, he did. He had a great game. As you can see there, as Tom pointed out, he knew where the sticks were, and he went for that first down.
First and 10 play action. Nunn, the lefty to throw on first down. Looking for Sanders. Now he'll decide to keep it, and will get maybe back to the line of scrimmage and maybe a half yard before he's wrestled down.
Barry, if we can see that again, I think Greg Munn had a good call. I really do believe that was a face mask. He got up saying, hey, they grabbed me by my helmet, and at the end of the play, and Greg, you got to forget that. They didn't call it, so you forget it. Look, he's saying again, they grabbed my face mask. At the end of the play, you'll see he drops back. He gets good depth. This is a pass. It's going to be a screen to Dixon. But Sanders, he's covered, so they come back and watch. As he puts his head down, he gets hit by his own man right there, but watch how he gets yanked right there. Good camera work. We have the face mask. Patty Wren, unfortunately, his crew didn't see it, so forget about it, Greg. Forget about it, move on.
And another play action fake, looking out in the flat, and it's complete. On the far side, Wallace has it. A great runner, Wallace in his own right, tripped up at the 37. First down as David Caputo takes him down.
Kenroy Wallace is an excellent runner. However, he had more yardage, and he started cutting back across the field as they call timeout with approximately 2:22 left to go, or exactly 2:22 left to go in the first half. Take the ball, put your shoulders down, and go forward. Take a look here as Greg Nunn drops back. You're going to see he sets up well, a little fake, play action pass, delivers the ball excellently. Good pass. If people didn't realize how good he can throw the football.
Look at Sanders.
And you see Sanders downfield. Yeah, exactly. Downfield. You just follow your blocking, and that's what you do. You don't try to cut back. You can see there, 6 yards he lost from where he originally received the ball to where he went back to.
Caputo on the tackle. If you recall, on the Nunn touchdown run earlier, it was a great block by Sanders that helped spring him.
And there you see a beautiful Hofstra University EAB plaza in the back. Later on this afternoon will be the tree lighting at EAB. It's a great holiday season, and great to see a crowd like that at Hofstra University for these championship games. And Don, you've been, again, a part of the championship game and setting this thing up. What do you think this has done for high school football here in Nassau
Well, I
County?
think certainly it has enhanced football on Long Island, and it's really the thing I think that all kids now set their goals to do at the beginning of the season. They want to get here in December for these Long Island championships.
Barry, I happened to go to 3 Suffolk County games last week to take a look. Every one of the games, whether it be the Bellport game against Huntington or whether it be the Longwood Sachem game, everybody's chanting Hofstra, Hofstra, Hofstra at the end. They know where they're going. They know where the Long Island Championship is played. Great crowd here today.
A lot of these folks have found their way to Hofstra Stadium, and what a great season Hofstra had under Joe Gardy. Want to congratulate them as well.
Absolutely, and Joe, I guess, Don, has been great for Nassau County and Suffolk County football, Long Island football, just by doing what he's done in Hofstra.
He certainly has. He's been very, very cooperative, even his changes schedules to accommodate us here.
Well, you see the running back comparisons. O'Neill has carried the ball more than 7 times today. That's a mistake on our graphic right there. Well, none on the reverse here. Willis on that pitch. Could not get away. Excellent play. Dan Hollander stayed home along with David Gonzalez.
And they did a good job of defense. And again, they set it up. You could see it coming right from the very beginning.
And they'll go with a no huddle here on 2nd down and 8. Again, little play action fake, none. Throwing on the run, far side, incomplete. Wallace, the intended receiver, arguing that he had come up with it, but the clock will stop here.
I guess I'm back to my questioning of play calling, and I know as an offense, I have to be honest with you, I'm not an offensive person at all. I always kept the ball on the ground and ran. I think we passed 3 times in 7 years at Bayshore, but again, they were doing so well, and I'm not saying to open it up. You can see right there the catch. It looks like it's a catch.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's saying no catch. He let go. He look. I mean, let's go back. If we can play that back one more time, we'll ask John Connell, our producer, to get back to us because the referee is right on top of the ball, but that camera work doesn't lie.
All right, 3rd down. Willis going in motion on 3rd and 8 from the 35. Another play action fake. He'll throw on the run, wide open this time. Wallace, 1st down, inside the 20 at the 18-yard line, a 17-yard gain.
Okay, we're going to look at the last play first, then we'll come back to that catch. This is the last play. Now watch the catch and watch the left hand being underneath the ball and keeping it up. There's the ball, he goes down. It's not a trap, it's a catch. Now he stays with it. Watch the ball, it doesn't come out. It's in his right hand, it's still in his right hand. His right hand is on the bottom and the ball is trapped. The ref is right there and sees the hand. It still has not come out. That's a bad call by the referee. I'll say it right now, Barry. Take a look yourself.
All right, Pat Wren is the head referee. That wasn't his call, perhaps. Throwing down at the end zone. It's Sanders going out of bounds at the 5-yard line. So Sanders coming up with the reception there. He caught 2 touchdown passes a couple of weeks ago against Baldwin of 24 and 34 yards, and he comes up with a big catch here.
Just to show you how smart I am, though, I'm the guy who's questioning why they're passing the ball. Is that right? Look how they just moved the last 3 times down the football field. And that's really offensively what you have to do to open people up. He's 4 of 6 right now. Greg Nunn, 4 of 6 for 48 yards. Take a look right here. Again, he's able to get the ball down, delivers it right on the target. You see Sanders catch the ball, turn up, and he's had the ball 1st and goal on the 5.
Back to the live action. Sanders inside the 5, tripped up. And inside the 5, Brian Johnson got a piece of him. He was the first man to hit him. Sanders with 16 rushing touchdowns this year, 2 more for pass receptions.
I see 11 seconds left to go in the half. Am I wrong? Am I looking at something? Why are they walking around and not calling timeout? What? I mean, that is the official clock, I believe. Do they not?
They may not get a playoff.
Do they not know what's going on?
We can't see the 1.
Okay.
All right.
There's 59. Again, we don't have a look at the clock up here.
Let's get back to the action here. Nunn keeping, gets a nice block, turns the corner. Faulkman chasing him, but Nunn into the end zone for a 2nd touchdown of the game and 10th of the year as Lawrence has regained the lead.
You saw Greg Nunn right there with a little cheer, and he says that with his fist because he knew he was getting in the end zone. Did a great job of getting in that end zone, making the turn on the corner. And again, the difference between Sachem and Lawrence is that Sachem has the quarterback, right, Don, that can open the game up, and the running back, where it seems to me right now, all Sachem really is giving, Lawrence has that, all Sachem is giving is the one good running back in James O'Neill and the passing ability, sure, of Matt Clark. But you see right there, as he comes to he's saying, I'm in. He knew he had the corner once he got around that corner. Larry Faulkman chasing, but just doesn't have the speed to catch him.
All right, they're going to go for 2 here, leading 12-7. That's Willis coming in motion. And Nunn pitching, Sanders into the end zone for the two-point conversion.
Good call by Richie Malo. Good run, good option that time. Great read by Greg Nunn. Nice pitch to the outside, and they pull back in. Now they have the 14-7 lead instead of a 12-7
You know,
lead.
Tom, when you have to key on Sanders, which obviously have to do, you forget about a guy like Nunn. 8 carries for 80 yards, 2 touchdowns, and how about his passing on that last drive as well?
He's a great, versatile athlete, and Freddie Fazaro knew that coming into the game. Don't get me wrong. They knew it. They tried to defense it. Doing a good job. Take a look at the conversion right here as he comes to the left side, and now he just takes a pitch right away. He sees the corner. He gives it right to Bourne. Good job, though, on the outside. You saw number 20, that was number 12, Kenroy Wallace, doing a nice job of stalk blocking. Richie Mauer right there, head coach of Lawrence, very happy with that drive.
10 plays, 65 yards, 3 minutes and 25 seconds. Nunn with the second rushing touchdown of the game, a 4-yard scamper. And go back to that punt situation, the fake punt, or whatever you ever want to call it. That turned out to be a big gamble that paid off.
It certainly did. I'd really like to know from Richie Malo, I guess, whether that was, I don't believe that was a call play. I think he did that all on his own. I'm the one who's going to get
at halftime, you're going to check that out.
I'm going to be the one who gets in the kid's face on that one. But I tell you, again, sometimes high school kids do things that help you win football games, right, Don?
That's correct. I have a feeling that Nunn saw them setting back for a return and took it on his own to do that.
Line drive kick taken by one of the up people at the 30. 35, Jimmy D returns to the 40. Of course, his dad was quite a football coach at St. John the Baptist.
John D at St. John the Baptist did a great job. We've covered a couple of his games on Cablevision over the years. And,
some of his brothers have played.
Sure, I'm very proud of the job that his son is doing right now for Sachem High School.
You know, remember last year's Massapequa-Connecticut game? There's an eternity left here if they want to try, 42 seconds. Remember last year where Connecticut scored with a minute to go? Massapequa came down, kicked a field goal to win the game.
They just scored too quickly. I don't know how much time with 35 seconds they've left on the clock, though, for...
Well, they'll try O'Neal up the middle. And O'Neal, who's carried the ball on just about every play in this first half, stopped as he got to the 45, make it the 46 by Bashawn Dixon. And they will call timeout here, come to the sideline, get a message from Freddie Fusaro and find out what they're going to do offensively.
Well,
here.
what they showed us right now is having the ball on the 44-yard line. They're still thinking about getting into field goal range. They're going to be kicking into the wind, but they have a real good field goal kicker. I think you're going to see, with 26 seconds left, you're going to see them put the ball up in the air. So you're going to get to see right now how Matt Clark passes the ball. Some great receivers, as we said, Jimmy D. You also have David Caputo, and you have Will Campbell, a great speedster down the sideline.
You talk about this being the O'Neal show. They've had 25 plays from scrimmage. 18 have involved O'Neal.
But look at that. He's only gained 56 yards. Now, I mean, that's 4 yards to carry, but Lawrence has done a good job of bottling him up. Exactly. They've bottled him up. They've kept him. I mean, if he goes right now, he's going to gain 100 yards to the game.
Right on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Well, the huddle of the Sachem Flaming Arrows. You know, it's kind of interesting. Freddie Fusaro coming back home here to Hofstra. He coached here many, many years ago under Howdy Myers. He's been involved in this game for a long time. And he coached Ralph Capozzi, the Carl Place coach. Matt Clark taken down on an excellent defensive play by Paul Kiernan, his 6th sack of the year.
And I couldn't tell the difference because I saw number 72, Paul Kiernan, going. He looked as quick as number 22, Vaughn Sanders going in there, or number 32, Bashawn Dixon, who are 2 excellent speedsters for the Lawrence track team.
This will be the final play of the half, and just putting his knee down, not taking any chances, Matt Clark, as the first half has come to an end. And the Lawrence Golden Tornado representing Nassau County. Nassau leading 9-4 in the first 13 games played. Takes to the locker room with the lead here.
And they really have. They've done a great job. And we'd like to thank Don Snyder for joining us for this quarter in our booth. And Don, I guess, good luck with all you do in the football from now on.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Barry. It's been a pleasure to be with you.
All right, gentlemen. That's the story at halftime. Lawrence 14 and Sachem 7. You're watching Championship High School Football on Cablevision's Long Island Sports Network.
Holidays are sprinkled with delight, rich and warm, golden and wrapped in tradition. They embrace many cultures and bring together families and friends. These times that bubble with cheer, these times that dance with lights, these are the times we treasure most. From the King Cullen family to yours, may your holidays be delicious.
Nobody beats Long Island Diamond prices.
Now through Christmas, save 50% on our entire stock.
I'm so excited about this 50% off sale, I even shaved.
Long Island Diamond is a world-class selection of all sizes.
Well, Class 1 championship on the line, and right now it's Lawrence over Sachem by the score of 14-7. Joined right now by David Farr, and David is the Senior VP and General Manager of Canon USA. And David, once again, we've got to congratulate you for the effort, Canon USA. 4 years the involvement. Why the involvement here with the Long Island Football Championships?
Well, thank you very much. This is part of our corporate strategy to be involved in the community, and with the youth of today, they need all the help they can get, and our part is to put back into the community, and youth sports is a great way to keep these young people and to help them get educated for their further education into college.
Obviously, from your accent, we can tell that you're not from the U.S. You're from Wales originally. You ever get to play some football?
I did play football up in Canada, but mostly I'm a rugby guy.
I was told Toronto Argonauts.
That's correct, middle linebacker.
Middle linebacker, you've got that size there. Hey, listen, Canon USA is involved here. What's the message that you could send out to other Long Island business communities to say why they should get involved also with these kids?
Okay, well, we all reap from the local community with our business and do very well. And we have a corporate responsibility to put back into the communities that help us. And this is one way to help the youth programs. And let's all put back into the community and make it a better place to live, and to give these young people something to live for and to work for, and give them some goals towards life.
You were talking this morning at a brunch that they had, and you said these are the, these are the future leaders of America. We need to get these people involved, and hey, let's face it, these are the kids here that are going to be leading us someday down the road.
That's true. It's our future in local government, state government, and national government, and also our business leaders of the future. So if they can see that we support them now, in their day, they will do the same for other people beyond them.
Are you rooting for any one particular team out here?
No, I don't do that. No, the good bunch of guys, and we wish them all the best, and it's a great team effort, and it's good football, good sport.
And we wish you the best, and we thank Canon USA for their cooperation, their involvement here with the Long Island Football Championships. David Farr has been my guest. He's the Senior VP and General Manager, Canon USA, and happy holidays to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Same to you and to everybody watching. Thank you.
Thank you very much, David Farr. We're back with more, joined by Tom Howard. We'll have some halftime highlights right after this timeout.
Express yourself. Take your creativity to a whole new level.
Express yourself with EOS lenses and the Rebel X from Canon.
Need to brighten your holidays? Wrapping up some last-minute shopping? Genevieve's is open late, 24 hours in many stores, with everything you need for the holidays, from gifts to decorations to stocking stuffers. And don't forget the film. Genevieve's, we'll take good care of you.
This could be your pool. This could be your campus. This could be your library. This could be your studio. This could be your class. This could be your team. This could be your home. This could be your university. This should be your call.
All right, now joined by the former coach, Tom Howard. And Tom, you and I just commenting, this is one heck of a football game, but we expected it.
We certainly did, but I expected a little more defense than we've seen so far, Carl. Both teams offensively have moved the ball very well. Sachem takes a second-half kickoff. Very well could move 95 yards for a touchdown and have the exact same stats on the board that Lawrence has right now.
You know, you mentioned a 95-yard drive. That's exactly what Lawrence had done on the opening drive. They went 92 yards. In fact, if you take a look at the halftime numbers, Tom, they have 168 yards in total offense, Lawrence does, but 167 came on their 2 touchdown drives.
That's certainly right. They had 1 sack, some of it lost, and you can see right there some of the numbers. And the big number is 168 to 67. But don't discount the fact that Sachem gets the opening kickoff. If they drive the length of the field, they also could have around 167 yards. So it could be very similar. The fumble really didn't mean anything. So we have 2 evenly matched teams out here playing football.
You know, I'm really surprised also that there are no penalty flags thrown. It shows you some real good, clean, hard football.
It certainly does. To give Patty Red and his crew some credit there. They're letting the kids play football. You usually call in games like this the obvious, the intentional. There's none of that out there. Both teams, Freddie Fitzgerald and Richie Miles, playing good, hard football.
Lawrence broke on top first. They scored the touchdown. It was Greg Nunn, and then all of a sudden the extra point was no good. Matt Clark came back on a quarterback sneak, extra point good, 7-6. And then it was Greg Nunn again. He's done some damage, and this is a touchdown that was able to put them on top going into the locker room.
And you take a look at Greg coming out to the right. And again, everybody's so concerned about number 22, Bourne Sanders. Bourne throws a great block there. Greg gets to the corner. He knows he's about to score. He just sort of does a little dastardly, gets in there. And now they come back with a 2-point extra point after that to give them a 14-7 lead.
All right, let me ask you something before we go to the break as the former coach. I mean, the opportunity here for a tie because we will have a winner. What is the one thing that you're concerned about on either side if you're Rich Malo, if you're Fred Fusaro?
As far as the tie goes?
No, as far as this football game. I'm saying, well, they're not going to see a tie.
I think you make no mistakes. Penalty-wise, we haven't made any mistakes in the game so far. There's been 1 fumble. You have to talk about keeping the mistakes to a minimum. So I think that's what you're talking about right now. We're doing a good job offensively moving the ball. Lawrence started blitzing their backers. I think maybe Sachem has to put a little more pressure on the Lawrence offense.
And I have to tell everybody as we go to break, these are not tears because he's not coaching anymore. It's the wind that's going through Tom Howard. He's a brave guy. It's cold outside, but he wanted to make me look like the guy that had to bundle up. Go back upstairs where it's warm. We'll see you after the ball game. We're back with the start of the second half right after this timeout. Stay with us.
Do you know how many regional calls we make?
Hey, we're building a business here.
Hundreds a month.
Thousands a year.
We're building a building business here.
9X is giving us a break.
A big break.
They call it Business Link.
We call it a business builder.
It's a savings plan.
An incentive plan.
A building business builder.
It's like a volume discount.
Just like our other suppliers give us.
Exactly.
But no long-term commitment.
Signing up's a breeze.
All we did was say yes.
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 With Business Link, we're building our building business, building by building.
Nobody beats Long Island Diamond prices.
Now through Christmas, save 50% on our entire stock.
I'm so excited about this 50% off sale, I even shaved.
Long Island Diamond is a world-class selection of all sizes, shapes, and price ranges.
The original Long Island Diamond Exchange. Open Sundays now through Christmas. American Refuel. Helping to solve Long Island's solid waste problem by converting trash into electricity. Operating an environmentally safe waste-to-energy facility in Hempstead, where more than 1 million barrels of oil are saved every year. American Refuel, committed to protecting the environment for future generations.
Dave Caputo returning the kickoff, a short return, about to the 15-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Sachem Flaming Arrows. They trail 14-7 here at halftime. And we'd like to invite you folks to help support the youth of Long Island by helping sponsor the Long Island Sports Championship Series for boys and girls on the LISM. Select championship games in basketball, football, wrestling, lacrosse, girls soccer, and basketball. If you'd like to help, you're a sponsor, would like to help, there's the number, 516-485-3701. We really like to hear from you.
And we really like the businesses on Long Island to help support our youth. They get out there, they play hard, they play fair, and we want to have a chance to highlight them.
O'Neal on the carry as he gets short yardage, and O'Neal in the first half carried the football 18 times for 56 yards, and just about every play he was in on.
Sure, and not unusual for O'Neal because, again, they keep giving it to him. Eventually, he's going to bust it. Freddie Pizarro talked to his guys at halftime. No big deal. We're down by a touchdown. That isn't a big deal because they're able to get the ball in the second half on the kickoff, maybe move it down the length of the football field. It'll be a tie game.
Kendro Benjamin is checked into the ball game as a wide receiver. 3 wide receivers, trips left formation here. First time we've seen that single setback O'Neal.
They're splitting it out, but they'll probably go to O'Neal anyway. Watch when he gets on the corner by himself.
And they will go to O'Neal up the middle as he gets to the 20 and a shove back. It'll set up a 3rd and 4 play. And we'll take a look at the road to the top. for these respective Class 1 champions. For Sachem, and they avenged an earlier season loss in overtime, beating Lindenhurst 22-14. Then for the conference championship, beat Longwood 21-0, also avenging a loss.
And they've shown that they can play great football and they can come back. Baldwin, a win for Lawrence over Baldwin, and then coming back and bringing a very good Farmingdale team 31-0.
Just totally destroyed them. Just super defensive effort and took advantage of a lot of turnovers in that game. 4 for 7 on third down conversions. O'Neill on short yardage trying to pick it up. Good effort as he crosses the 25, picks it up to the 26-yard line, a 6-yard gain.
Great vision on the field. You see how deep he gets in that I formation. He's able to go off right tackle, and he's just able to find his hole. And again, able to slide through. He needed to know. He knew where he needed to go to get the first down, Barry, and he made it. Dove, picked up the first down.
Number 80, Jim Chandler, just checking in with a play from the sideline. He alternates with Jimmy D as the tight end, and they bring in plays from the sideline. Now Caputo will come out wide to the right. O'Neill is 2 for 2 in passing. Both passes to Campbell, both for first downs. And this time he'll stay on the ground to O'Neill. No gain, knife down at the line of scrimmage. And it'll set up a 2nd and long play there.
And right there you saw on the corner there was a block by number 30 from Sachem, and unfortunately unable to make it. And also Jimmy Chandler, number 80, throwing a block, not staying with his block. And because of that, O'Neill had nowhere to go.
So it'll set up a 2nd down and long situation here as D checks in with the play from the sideline. Lou Antonetti coming out over the ball, a very steady all-conference performer whose dad is a great lacrosse coach at Smithtown.
And he's a great student, a very smart kid looking to go to an Ivy League school.
All right, whistles blow here and flags fly as he was getting back to pass, Matt Clark.
First penalty of the game, and they're going to call it against Sachem. You see Matt very upset with that thing, illegal procedure against the Flaming Arrows, and Matt was concerned with that, probably some type of movement in the backfield.
Matt passed for over 900 yards during the regular season. Was it Caputo
There
here?
it is, and take a look. Exactly, he's rocking forward, and you see Dave Caputo on the outside. There's his motion right there. And there goes the flag, and he knows he caused it.
Good camera work, so it's now 2nd and 13. As the football moved back to the 21-yard line. High formation. Dropping straight back on the draw. Here's O'Neill. He'll pick up the yardage they lost on the initial play. Frank Masson again on the tackle, number 77.
Right now, Lawrence is doing a tremendous job defensing Sachem. They've kept them bottled up 90% of the first half, and they're doing the same thing right now, bringing up a 3rd and 12, obvious passing situation. You can put on your rush. You can sit back. Freddie Pizarro and his coaching staff a little concerned on the sideline right now because they know they have to come up with a big play or they have to kick into this stiff wind, give Lawrence very good field position when they initially get the ball in the second half.
Excellent point, Tom. It's 3rd and about 12 from the 23 here. Dropping straight back, Clark with time. He's got Campbell open at the 35, and again, very close to the first down.
I can't believe this kid. He's one of the best receivers I've ever seen as far as knowing exactly where he needs to go for the first down. He goes 1 inch past it. Take an ISO on Campbell right now. He drives down the distance. Watch how he stops. He plants. He comes around right past the line, comes back to the ball to keep his distance, and falls back. Knows that he stepped over the line. He had to get back, gets low, and comes back over. Great camera work. Great job.
All 3 of his catches have been for first downs on 3rd down situations. They're going to measure here, so maybe I was a little bit premature on that. But Will, an all-county player, excellent lacrosse player, excellent hands, a possession receiver, and you see the measurement is indeed enough for a first down.
Every single one, Barry, he's made by inches because he knows where he has to go. And we're pleased to join with us in the booth right now. Nick Schroeder, he's the football coordinator from Suffolk County. I've had the pleasure of coaching against Nick when he used to be the coach out at William Floyd, and then presently now I guess you're still on the sidelines there at Smithtown. Is that right, Nick?
I try to help out a little bit, Tom, yeah.
Take Nick's on the left-hand side of your screen right there, ladies and gentlemen, and has done a great job with Suffolk County football. And how about these Long Island championships?
Well, the crowds are great, and we've been lucky to have great weather here. I think we've seen a great ball game right here. I think what you'll see here is Sachem's patience will pay off in the long run. And they have more weapons than O'Neill. As you said before, Clark made a couple of great catches. He's a great receiver. They run that curl route. They'll run play action and try to get the ball to people, and you'll see them run great patterns. Clark does not get the credit he deserves because the team does give the ball to James O'Neill quite a bit.
Well, he's an outstanding quarterback, Nick Schroeder. 5-yard pickup by O'Neill. And let's call it about 2nd and 5 from the 41. Sachem trailing in the game, third quarter. O'Neal again getting the call, stumbling, tripped up in the backfield, but able to fall forward. Vaughn Sanders got a piece of him.
And I think Barry, we see right there, as Nick said, that Freddie Fazar's been around for many years. He does not panic at all. He's been coaching long enough to know that his team is a very good, well-coached team. They can move the ball, and they're doing exactly that right now. They're methodically moving the ball down the field, moving those chains.
I think he also knows that the strength of Lawrence, I feel, is in their secondary and their outside linebackers, and he's trying to keep them out of the football game.
By powering the ball up the middle.
That's right.
This time O'Neal tries to turn the corner. They came up quickly and took him down. Mike Callahan from the outside linebacker spot, number 24.
To pick up on what Nick just said, Vaughn Sanders, Bashawn Dixon, 2 all-county linebackers. Chamari Willis, Greg Nunn, and Kenroy Wallace, all-county or all-conference secondary. So 6 all-county or all-conference people all in that secondary, whether they're linebackers on the outsides or whether they're the 3 defensive backs.
Yeah, one of the plays that O'Neal runs real well during the season that we've seen him run is the toss, and they're just catching it. So for the first time this year, we have a secondary that can contain him. But
Second and 5 from the 46. O'Neal trying to turn the corner. Again, Callahan cutting the angle down, using the sideline as an extra tackler there, and he runs out of bounds, but again, a good pickup, enough for a first down.
Yeah, but you see how he stepped over Callahan. You see how he lowered his shoulder. He has such a good, reminds me, as he said before, how he broke Chad Bosch's record. He reminds me, or is about to, he reminds me of running like Chad Bosch. He's able to give a leg and take a leg and move back and forth.
I think Chad was a little bit more of a cutting type of runner. I think one of the strengths of O'Neal is that he keeps his shoulders square. He's always getting positive yardage. It's one of the things that I think is going to make him a great college football player.
Well, he has the size definitely to go off to college at 6'1", 195.
Chad Bosch at Rutgers after playing at Nassau Community. O'Neal met, but able to again drive forward. Let's check in with Carl Reuter on the sideline.
Barry, Tom, I know you have Nick Schroeder up there. You know, the observation from down here, this is like a boxing match. I mean, these two teams just keep going at one another, and it's just a question of who's going to be able to deliver the knockout punch. The thing is that I'm amazed at, I can't remember a game where two teams where you really saw very little punting at all. It's just one team drives and the other team comes back up, but they're really sustaining the drives and using up the clock. That could be a telling tale towards the end of this one.
Absolutely, Carl. Or who makes the mistake? And I think that might be the critical thing in the game. Who's going to make that first mistake?
Vaughn Sanders beating O'Neal in the backfield and a loss on the play.
Nick, as Don Snyder had said, he was up here with us in the second quarter, and he had mentioned how he felt that Lawrence had to mix some things up and start blitzing the linebackers. You saw right there, Vaughn blitzed through from his inside linebacker position. Sachem on defense hadn't been able to really to stop Lawrence either. What do you think Sachem maybe needs to do defensively?
Sachem is not really a blitzing team. I think that they play pretty much base defense, and they want to just keep people contained. I think one of the problems that they're having on defense is that they're letting Nunn be a runner and not forcing him to be a passer. When he breaks to the corner, they have their problem.
All right, Nick, 3rd and 10. Let's see if they go to Campbell again. Clark looking. He'll have to scramble here. He's at the 40, 35, and spun down. Tripped up that time by Bashawn Dixon. It'll be shy of the first down by about a yard or two.
Let's bring 2 coaches in on this, okay? You got yourself 3rd and a long 2 yards to go right now. It's 4th down, okay? I'm sorry, 4th and a long 2 yards to go, possibly 3 yards to go. The ball is inside the 40. Do you trap him deep right now, Nick, or do you try to go for it?
I think right now I try to go for it. You didn't come here to try to pin people in. I think you're going to go for it, and I think Freddie's going to do that.
They're 1 for 1 on 4th down conversions. 4th and 3 from the 33. The fans standing.
Unbalanced line to the top of the screen. They're going unbalanced right to see if they go that way.
No, they go to the left side. O'Neal got the first down with good second effort. And he's at the 29-yard line where it'll be a first down.
And how about coming unbalanced right, going back to the left, lead with your fullback leading the way. And as Nick had said before, we made it by a lot. Nick had said, hey, they come here to win the game. Fred Frizarro shows what he's made of.
Yeah, that unbalanced set they use quite a bit, and it can get you into some trouble defensively because you're not seeing it on a regular basis.
Actually, they're moving it to the 28-yard line. You see the first down's not much difference there. Sachem on the drive, looking to tie the score here. They trail 14-7. Blitzing right now. Dixon fumbled the time by O'Neal as Dixon was blitzing, forced the fumble, and Santo Arusa and Bashawn Dixon putting the pressure on.
Great blitz on that play, but presence of mind by James O'Neal, again, not only to pick up the ball, but then to start moving. And when he realized he couldn't go, you see how he went down on the carpet. He's not going to take a chance. Take a look right now. He's going to get the handoff, and as he does, he's going to be met right in the face. There's the handoff, and there's the running back. That's Bashawn Dixon meeting him, picks up the ball, starts to move him right now where he knows he's going to get hit. He gets down on the carpet.
R2's at 55 on the tackle, loss of 4, so it sets up 2nd, and let's call it 14 back at the 32-yard line. Clock ticking, 3:05 to go, third quarter. Sachem with the ball, trailing 14-7. Faulkman is the fullback, O'Neal the halfback. In motion goes Campbell. Play action fake, Clark in trouble, chased by Artuza, throws, and it's complete for Faulkman, but not much of a gain, maybe a yard or two on the play, actually to the original 10-yard marker, and they picked up about 5 on the play.
That's a great play. They've shown that throughout the season. They'll show the zone play one way, and they'll come back with bootleg the other way, and he does a great job, and usually he's hitting a back coming out.
But how about the speed of Artuza, who's a lineman chasing him down right there? Usually when you have time to get to that corner, you can set up, you have the vision in front of you, you see your field, you can pick who you want, maybe your 2 receivers. Right there, you saw he had Artuza the whole time. Was able to deliver the ball, still on the money though.
Great team speed by Lawrence. Tremendous.
See the official going down too, taking a hit to make the play, Nick, as they say in hockey. All right, single setback is Faulkman. Passing situation, 3rd and long for Clark. Looking, and it's going to be complete. Caputo has the first down inside the 20 at the 17-yard line.
Caputo's a great athlete. He returned a kickoff against us, 95 yards, in the opening kickoff of the second half, and he's just an incredible, underrated athlete. He's an all-county kid also.
Number 2 receiver on the team, runs excellent patterns according to the coaching staff. You watch right here, nice look off there also. You saw Clark look off, come back to Caputo. Caputo double covered there, still is able to bring the ball down. Not only is he an excellent athlete, Nick, he's an excellent student.
1st and 10 at the 17-yard line. Barry Landers along with Tom Howard, Nick Schroeder, and Carl Reuter. Hope you're enjoying the action here. Flags are dropped right here at the line of scrimmage.
Right down the right defensive end, at the bottom of your screen right there. Jumped offside, 72, Paul Kieran, it looked like. And because of that, it's going to move it 5 yards. It'll be a 1st and 5, which really gives a waste down now to Sachem. They can really gamble. Now you can put the ball in the end zone. You can do a little razzle-dazzle. Nothing where you want to take a sack, but where you can actually get into the end zone, hopefully. Right, Nick?
I don't think you're going to see it, though. I think you're going to see Freddie give the ball to O'Neal as many times as it takes to get it in there.
Once he gets down inside this red zone, I guess, he just has nothing on his mind but O'Neal.
You know, they do a great job zone blocking if you watch them.
You saw the jump right there.
Here we go back to the live action. 1st and 5 from the 12-yard line. Flag on the play. O'Neal trying to turn the corner, will be taken down at the 20-yard line. A loss of 8 on the play.
Now here's the call. If the flag is against Sachem, they'll take the loss. I don't know whether the whistle blew though before the play even started. I saw the flag go down, but I don't know if they blew the whistle. It may not be a loss at all. They may not be able to decline this. They may have to just move it back 5 yards, which won't make any difference. They do decline it. It really doesn't. The only difference it would make, it would be 1st and 15 as opposed to now 2nd and 15.
Yeah, but now I think it changes their
game plan.
Absolutely,
a little bit. Now you got to almost think about putting the ball up in the air. At some point, if it's not on 2nd down, it will have to be on 3rd down.
Dennis Connolly, a wide receiver, comes in, number 6. They'll go with Campbell and Caputo as wide receivers to the right, top of your screen, and Dennis Campbell at the bottom of your screen. On 2nd and long yardage. Clark looking with time, maybe a screen, handing off now O'Neal. O'Neal inside the 15, down and around the 12-yard line, stopped by Greg Nunn.
Probably one of the more dangerous plays that Sachem has is the draw, because Clark can hurt you with the curls to Campbell and to Caputo, and then he gets into a drop-back game, and people are dropping off linebackers, and then O'Neal's coming right at you.
And the nice thing about O'Neal is because he runs in that I formation about 8 to 9 yards back, he has the vision, as you see right here, where he cuts up. Now watch Greg Nunn come in. It's just sort of a little block there instead of, just lowering his shoulder and blocking into the person.
3rd down. They're 6 for 10 in 3rd down conversions here, and a 3rd and 4 from the 11 for quarterback Matt Clark. O'Neal stopped at the 10 and won't get any further than that, as he was met head-on by Frank Massoni once again.
One more 4th and 3. You know you can probably make a field goal from this. They have a field goal kicker who make it, but is a field goal going to do any good when you're down 7 as opposed to down 6 and then have that extra point?
No, I think they have to get in the end zone. There's no question about it. They're not going to go for a field goal here. Again, their kicking game has not been real strong all year. I have not seen them do a really great job with field goals.
And they're going to take a timeout now to talk it over.
Not a bad call either, because you know something, in high school football, you have certain plays that you know are going to work for you. I think right now they've probably got to that stage of the game where they know what plays are going to work. You also work on overtime criteria. Maybe this is one of those overtime plays you want to put in right now to use, because there is no bigger play in the game than this one right now, Nick.
I think what you're going to, my pick for this play, I think you're going to see play action to O'Neal. You're going to see Clark go to the corner where he's got the ability to run or pass, and then they're going to try to hit somebody.
Let's join Freddie Fusaro's huddle right now.
Let's go unbalanced, Joe. Tight split. I want to go to that left. Power unbalanced left, lead left. We gotta watch the fucking back. Lou, you gotta come on. Okay, hey, we're going with our strength. Pick your heads up. Hey, and we're gonna go on 2. Listen to me. are going on 10. Going on 2. We are going on 2. 2, you hear me? 2. Let's go. Hey, this is it. This is it. Get out of here. Come on, baby. Let's go, low line. Right on 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
Offensive coordinator Dave Falco talking things over with the offense. Biggest play of the game coming up right here, gentlemen.
Okay, we couldn't pick up here on our headsets what they were saying there, but you see Rich Mahon, he talked to his team about what has to come up. See the drive right now, 20 plays. I mean, they've used 11 minutes and 11 seconds of this third quarter. Sachem had the ball.
Little confusion. Yeah. Billy Pupley late in coming in. They're going to have to take another timeout here.
Penalty. Can't call 2 timeouts in a row, can you?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's why Tom Howard's an AD now,
Never
folks.
knew my rules, and I'll be the first one to admit it. Never knew football rules. Never argued with an official on a rule because I didn't know what I was talking about.
Pat Wren over there in the white hat, one of the fine officials, working with this crew of both Nassau and Suffolk officials. Of course, I may preface my next remark by saying that Tom Howard coached at Bayshore for many years, won a Rutgers Cup, I believe, at Bayshore, two of them. And Nick Schroeder, he's a little out of touch from the coaching standpoint, although he likes to coach from the booth up here. And Nick, of course, former coach at Smithtown and football coordinator for Suffolk County.
Actually, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Nick.
Yeah,
you had him a second ago, confusion. You went into your huddle. You listened to the coach talk before. Then they got out and they had a little confusion. Let's take a look. They go out there and you see Matt Clark right now. We don't have the right man in here. We're supposed to have, this is a certain player. We're supposed to have number 33, Billy Pupley. Where is he? Billy then comes in. They have to use a timeout at that point, and you don't, even though you may be able to do it, you don't want to use 2 in a row.
All right, they're 4 for 4 on 4th down conversions, 2 for 2, and they're faced now with 4th and 3 at the 10. Biggest play of the game, and the fans standing on both sides here. They packed 10 men up in the box right here. O'Neal will try to turn it outside, and he did not get the first down.
An amazing statistic, though, is after that play is over, there's only 43 seconds left to go in this period. 43 seconds in the period. If he would have made that first down, that almost would have kicked down, I mean, you saw right there, Kenroy Wallace comes up, he makes a nice hit. The defensive secondary, as Nick said, wanted to stay out of it when they come up. You see 24 coming into the picture right now, over pursues just a little bit. O'Neal gets to the outside, but right here, you see nice job right there by Nunn, and then Kenroy Wallace helping out also.
I'm really surprised they didn't take a shot at the end zone there, Tom.
I am too. I'm surprised that you didn't see, like you said, Nick, a play action, something you get on the corner when you have an option. There was no option there. The option was O'Neal, who they've lived and died with all year. We realize that. But now right now, you have them trapped up to see what they can do to the Lawrence offense.
30 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Lawrence leading 14-7. This is the score they led at halftime by. And on the option, Nunn keeping, turning it left, spinning across the 10. And we'll be down at around the 12, a pickup of about 4 on the play. And that will probably be the final play of the third quarter with just 10 seconds remaining.
There's no reason, Lawrence is winning the game, there's no reason not to make that delay. You don't want to do anything. You know Sachem can't use any timeouts. They only have 1 left in the whole game because they used 2 in a row before. That will really come back to haunt later on, I think, haunt Freddie Fizzaro's team.
That's it. That's the end of 3. So the Lawrence Golden Tornado leading the Sachem Flaming Arrow by a score of 14-7. And thanks to Nick Schroeder for joining us, Nick. You guys have put on a great show here again.
Thank you very much, Beck.
We'll be back with fourth quarter action. You're watching Cablevision's Long Island Sports Network.
Imagine a camcorder that lets you control focus and other functions simply by moving your eye. Imagine it with a 20 times optical, 40 times digital zoom, an optical image stabilizer. Imagine it offering unparalleled digital effects and a stunning compact design. Now, take a deep breath and try to imagine yourself without one. Canon's eye-controlled ES5000, the new vision in camcorders.
If you ever have to call us for service,
24-hour service.
it could be in the middle of the night.
24-hour service.
It might be a holiday
24-hour service.
or in the middle of a storm.
24-hour service.
There's always someone here to answer your phone call, never a machine.
24-hour service. Mean it.
Nobody beats Long Island Diamond prices.
Now through Christmas, save 50% on our entire stock.
I'm so excited about this 50% off sale, I even shaved.
Long Island Diamond is a world-class selection of all sizes, shapes, and price ranges.
The original Long Island Diamond Exchange. Open Sundays now through Christmas.
And our thanks to the folks at the Long Island Diamond Exchange. Jed Savell, whose son was an outstanding football player at Comac High School, an all-county player, and wish him well wherever he ends up in school. And what a great setting. They've got the exceptional senior Nassau County game, the Catholic All-Star game coming up this weekend. Suffolk had a game the other day as well.
You know, again, Hofstra does such a great job with their facility here too, Barry. They, you know, allow so many people here to come play football. It's just a great draw.
Lawrence had the ball for just one play with the wind in that third quarter, and now they're going into the wind here.
They have the whole fourth quarter to go into the wind, so the plus for Sachem is they're able to control the ball for 11 minutes and 43 seconds in that third quarter.
2nd and 8. Deep in their own territory. Sanders, quick hitter. He'll get to around the 14-yard line, driven back by Brian Johnson. Gang tackled by the Sachem Flaming Arrows.
Lawrence has had the ball so far, Barry, 4 possessions. The first possession, 94 yards, touchdown. Second possession, stalled with a fumble. Third possession, length of the field, touchdown. This is their 4th possession. If they can take the ball right now and drive the length of the field and score on a long drive, it could be over.
Lawrence will make a change now. And again, a reminder, you could support the youth of Long Island by becoming a sponsor of the Long Island High School Sports Championship Series. Please call us at 516-485-3701. That's 485-3701 if you'd like to help sponsor high school sports here on the LIC.
And we should let everybody know all businesses are welcome to give us a call. Whether you're small or big, we want to get you involved.
All right, Willis going in motion on 3rd and long. They'll go to Sanders. Sanders tripped as he got to the 19. May have gotten enough for the first down.
I think it's going to be short by inches, Barry. I mean, this is going to be that close, and it's not a decision for Richie Romalo to make. It's a punt formation. You can't take a chance right now. He's upset. You see Bashawn Dixon. He thought he made it.
They're going to bring the chains in, nevertheless, which is a smart call by the officials.
You have to measure it. I mean, and you know something, again, from my vantage point, I can't tell. The officials have, you know, they're going to have a much better shot at it. Even right now, they know. But you definitely measure it. But if it's not a first down, Richie Malo has to kick, and Sachem will get the ball punting into the wind in very good field position.
Well, you'll bring the chains in. You see the official holding the ball. This wind, you don't want to change.
No, you can't. That's exactly. I mean, Patty Wren's doing a great job, because if the wind, you can see it's going to be short by even more than a couple inches, about a foot. But if Patty Wren, if the ball ever blew because of the wind, I mean, then where do you spot it? Great job by Pat Wren and his crew.
Well, the officials did a great job last night in the game, Carl Place game, when they gave the taunting penalty to great young freshman Ali White, and it came right back after losing a touchdown, scoring a touchdown.
And coaches have already been talking today about that to their teams. And if you noticed before, when Greg Nunn went into the end zone, he didn't taunt. He was excited, but he never looked back.
All right, 4th down, and it appears they're going to go for it. How about this, folks?
I don't think they are. They're going to try to draw him off sides and use a timeout. I don't believe they're going to go. He's saying, be quiet. Let's go. Let's see. Let's watch this and see if they just draw him off.
From the 18-yard line, Nunn is trying to pick it up. I don't think he made it. We'll wait. Sachem feels they stopped him.
I tell you something, I question that call. Whether he gets it, he doesn't, because that is a big gamble either way.
You're leading the game 14-7.
Greg Nunn saying he got it. He has no question in his mind he made it, but I thought his knee went down before he actually leaned forward.
That's the second big gamble. We saw Nunn on the fake punt pick up a first down and keep a drive going that resulted in their go-ahead score. And here, going for it on 4th and inches.
His quote before the game is, "We win this game bar none," and it may be by none.
Richie Malo, who was a great football player at Lawrence, around the same time Sal Champion was. Freddie Frisaro, there it is, a first down.
Boy, boy. That kid would have me either a heart attack or a gray hair within 1 season of coaching him, I'll tell you that.
Didn't make it by much, Tom, because they just nudged that football, not even to the 20. It's still inside the 20.
You see right there, a good shot of the coach, and you take a look at this right along the line. You got it. You tell me, does he make it? He has to go. He's leaning forward. He had to go about a foot. He didn't make it by too much, though, and there it is. And the ball goes down. He did make the foot. I think you can see that by right here, but only just enough. Protect the ball. He just turned around and told his backs, protect the ball.
Willis and Vaughn, the running backs behind the quarterback, Nunn. Again, Sanders gets the call. Not much, a half yard, crossing the 20 as he went off the left side of the line. Will Campbell coming up to stick him.
Sachem has done a great job of taking Sanders and stuffing him up the whole game. They haven't been able to stuff up O'Neill, the Lawrence team, but they've stuffed up Sanders, but they've left the door open for Nunn. Sanders carried the ball 11 times, only 33 yards. I mean, he never averages 3 yards. He averages 8.3 every game with 16 TDs, and he's just been stuffed this game. But again, the ball has to go back in the hands of Greg Nunn. And
but
you'll
he's the kind of guy that on one play, though, can break it.
He can break it, there's no question.
Stuff him, same as O'Neal. So it's 2nd and 8. Gave him a pickup of 2. On the option, here's Nunn cutting back upfield, stopped at the 23, maybe to the 24, gain of 3. It'll set up another 3rd and long
Sachem has taken the option away because they've rolled the corners up. Now what they have is they almost have a 9-man front, and they're challenging Lawrence to pass. They know Lawrence can pass, but with the wind, they, by using that ball the whole 3rd quarter, Barry, they put Lawrence going into the wind. The great passing that Greg Nunn did earlier, they've taken it away because they've rolled the corners up. They put pressure. You're going to make them throw deep down the field, and it's tough to throw deep into this.
Out over the ball, Crew Patel, the center, number 75. Another big 3rd down play, 3rd and let's call it 5. 4 for 6 on 3rd down conversions. They'll stay on the ground here, and nothing happening right there. Billy Pupili with a big hit, and this time I'm pretty sure they'll have to punt right here.
Whenever you go for anything on 4th down, Barry, I call it a risk-reward ratio. You have to say, what is the risk and what is the reward? Well, the risk was great before. As we take a look at this play one more time, and it gets stuffed right at the line of scrimmage. Watch the line surge. No line surge. Met right there. Great job by the D of Sachem.
That was Willis carrying the ball for a rare time.
Shamari comes in every once in a while.
High snap, Nunn will get this away, and a bad kick. He shanked it off his foot, but takes a decent roll and will die at the 40-yard line where Sachem will have it off the 15-yard kick.
But great field position, terrible kick right there. And as I mentioned before, the risk-reward ratio is this. All Lawrence gained on that gamble of going for a 4th down was they took 1 minute and 21 seconds off the clock. That was it. Too big of a risk to gain the reward. It wasn't worth it. They should have punted before. They should have punted the last time.
So it'll be 1st down for the Flaming Arrows at the 40-yard line, trailing 14-7.
The key right now, too, is momentum. Right now, Sachem just gained the momentum in that second.
All right, here we go. Flaming Arrows trailing by 7. O'Neal, no hole. Good penetration in the backfield. It was number 72, Paul Kiernan, getting in quickly with Santo Artuza. O'Neal, so far in the afternoon, has picked up over 100 yards. And 36 carries for 105 yards.
And as Nick Schroeder was mentioning before, they want to take the ball. They want to get it into the hands of James O'Neal. They're going to keep doing it, and they're going to keep doing it, and they're going to keep doing it. Freddie Fazaro knows what's going to get a victory for him. They may even have to go for the 2. They're going to a shotgun right now, though, changing their offense around a little.
4 wide receivers. Shovel pass for O'Neal, and they're going to rule it a pass or a fumble. Let's wait. That looked like a forward pass.
No. That was definitely a forward pass. That is not a fumble. It doesn't matter. There's no fumble there. O'Neal never caught the ball. So the referee, I mean, we got to see this again. If there's any way we can get our producer, John Connor, to put this back on, that was a pass. Now,
definitely.
It was a shovel pass. He stepped up. He has to say, take a look right now. Yeah, now they're talking about it. Patty Wren saying, hey, it was underhand. No, it was this. A forward pass doesn't matter whether it's overhand or underhand.
That's
Patty, it's a pass.
A shovel pass, forward.
Low, he shovels it. That's a pass. It's an incomplete pass. Put the ball back where it belongs. It's the next down. It's not loss of yardage. Referees are talking over. They'll come up with the right call. You see it one more time, he passed the ball. It's not a lateral. Nope. It's not backwards. It doesn't matter whether it's overhand or underhand. It doesn't matter whether you have great form of technique. You just have to be able to throw the ball forward. They're moving it back. Great job by the referee. Again,
good work by this crew, no doubt. Pat Wren got it right.
Yeah, and Patty will. I mean, they took the time. They probably thought it was a fumble at first because from where you're standing, you might not have seen it.
3rd and let's call it about 9. Richie Malo looking on right there, giving a signal.
Well, I don't know whether he's giving a defensive signal or saying, hey, you guys give me a heart attack the way you're playing out here. None. Just take it easy. Now, that was a defensive signal, definitely.
Matt Clark, 5 for 6 for 49 yards. Again, 4 wide receivers. Back to throw. He's got time. Looking over the head of Campbell and almost intercepted downfield.
Well, that was a good job on the defense there where they have, different people. Kenroy Wallace sitting back in second coverage. They had the man covered man for man. He overthrew for the first time when Matt Clark needed to come up big on the 3rd and long. He didn't. Now it's 4th down. They had the ball in great field position on the 41-yard line. They're only on the 39. 2-yard gain or 1-yard gain after they move the chains. Let's see what happens on 4th.
On 4th and 8.5, they're going to go for it, trailing 14-7.
The wind took that one. Barry, he's throwing with the wind now, and he should take a little bit off when you're throwing with the wind, and it just carried that ball.
O'Neal as a flanker to the right. Looking Clark over the middle for Campbell. and intercepted. What a great play that time.
No, not a great play. You don't intercept on 4th down. You have to have a presence of mind to don't knock it down. We don't want the ball back
But
there.
a good defensive play.
No
That's
question.
what I meant.
I'm sorry. Good. It was a great defensive play because he stepped in, and I'm surprised right then. You saw Greg Nunn come up with it, but I'm surprised that the receiver didn't fight a little more for that ball. When that ball's in the air, Will Campbell has every right to that ball, and he sort of just stood there and waited for it to come down.
And normally he's fearless going up in traffic to get those passes.
Good setup, good drop back by Matt Clark. He delivers the ball on the money. Watch this. The ball is delivered, and you see right there, Campbell has the ball. He goes up, but he doesn't fight for it. You see Nunn coming through fighting. Greg Nunn's, I'm sorry, is that Kenroy Wallace? Is that 12?
No, it was Nunn.
That was Nunn, okay. One more time, you take a look. You watch as Nunn comes through the receiver, defense back, comes through the receiver. It's 12. It's Kenroy Wallace. That is Kenroy. There's Greg Nunn coming into your picks right now.
Beg your pardon.
No problem.
5th interception for Wallace off the handoff. Look at the drive here by Sanders, as Sanders is stopped by Mike Hennessy after he picked up some good yardage.
Barry, we're talking about momentum. Sachem picked up the momentum, and as Carl had said earlier in the game, it was like a heavyweight boxing fight. When you get the momentum, you can't back into the corner. You got to come out swinging. Sachem had the momentum with the ball on the 41-yard line and gave it right back to Lawrence. You just saw right then, when Vaughn Sanders ran the ball, he's getting the momentum back. He gets up, he got into a Sachem player's face, probably said a few words, walked back to the huddle. He's telling his boy, Greg Nunn, right now, give me the ball. I'm going to carry you the rest of the way.
7-yard pickup that time. One of the best runs he's had from scrimmage. They'll try again. Sanders looking to pick up the 1st down, and appears to be very close and appears to have the 1st down.
This is where I want Vaughn Sanders in my backfield. I've had an opportunity to talk to this kid. He is a winner. He wants that ball. He knows he's going to keep that ball. And he just said before to Greg Nunn, he walked up to him. It's almost like, give me the ball the rest of the way. There'll never be a stopped 1st down. Just keep feeding me.
13 carries, 42 yards for the all-county performer, the best in the county, many people feel. He's explosive, he's quick, he's powerful, hits like a truck, can run through you and around you. Those are the scouting reports on this young man.
Well, he has to show us something in this drive, because in the matchup between O'Neal and Sanders today, O'Neal has definitely won that matchup, but really...
Well, he's carried the ball twice, or maybe...
Exactly. The matchup really is Nunn and O'Neal today, the way they played.
Illegal procedure, 5-yard walk-off, so that negates the yardage they had picked up earlier, and they move the football back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. So they'll face a long yardage situation here.
Well, brings them a 1st and 15, and again, you don't want to make those mistakes on this drive. This is the drive they needed to take the ball and move the length of the field, eat up the 6 minutes, not give them the ball back. Take a look at the right side of the screen right now. On this replay, you're going to see the movement in the line. You see right there, number 78, I think you're going to see in a second. I'm sorry, right side of the screen. It's number 58, Joe Cedar, not 78.
All right, time out of the field. We'll be right back. 4th quarter. We've got a close one. Lawrence Golden Eagles, Golden Tornado lead by 7, 14-7 over the Flaming Arrows of Sachem.
Imagine hearing the call of the road, not the road itself. Imagine having the world at your fingertips. Imagine worrying less and enjoying more. Imagine an automobile so precisely engineered it feels as if it were formed from a single piece of steel. Introducing the all-new 1996 Mercury Sable.
Imagine yourself in a Mercury.
Nobody beats Long Island Diamond prices.
Now through Christmas, save 50% on our entire stock.
I'm so excited about this 50% off sale, I even shaved.
Long Island Diamond has a world-class selection of all sizes, shapes, and price ranges.
The original Long Island Diamond Exchange. Open Sundays now through Christmas.
Thanks to our sponsors, helping bringing you the exciting Long Island Football Championships 4th quarter action. And right now it is 1st down and 15. Back at the 18-yard line for Lawrence. Handing off to Sanders into the secondary. Tripped up as he got to the 25. Nice gain on the play of about 8. Mike Hennessy, the strong safety, coming up to make the hit. But a nice burst that time, and Sanders starting to gain some good yardage.
Well, that's
here.
Barry. I said before, he's saying he wants to get back in the flow. He really feels he's been left out of this thing. He thinks he can do it, and he's the type of kid who says, when the fourth quarter comes, the game's on the line. Give me the ball, feed me the ball. I'll show you what I can do. All county player.
Picked up 8 on the play, so it's 2nd and 7. Lawrence with the ball, leading by 14-7. Again, Sanders. And he'll get to about the 28, maybe to the 29. Stopped by David Gonzalez, the all-conference defensive end. Very tenacious kid. 5'8", 170-pound senior. There you see the total yardage. Lawrence with the edge. 208 to 158.
I don't think there's any question that 95% of the people in this park right now know they're not going to go back one more time on a 4-yard to Sanders up the middle. Greg Nunn is going to have something to do with this next play, whether it's a sprint out, a rollout, a pass. I mean, the eyes have to be keyed on number 2, not necessarily number 22 right now.
3rd and about 5 from the I formation. They'll go to the fullback, and he'll get to the 31-yard line, way shy of the first down. Carrying the football that time.
Well, they're forced into another punting situation. Greg Nunn has to go back in punt formation. It's going to be 4th and a long 2. I don't think at this point he's going to take a chance of going for it, not only from the T formation, but from the punt formation. He's going to punt it. We know what happened the last time with 3:48, 3:47. I use every second right now, Barry, of this clock before I punted the ball.
Last time it was a 15-yard punt. Bashawn Dixon, by the way, carried the ball for that short gain on that last play. This time, a line drive kick. Didn't try to get it into the wind. It will die at the 44-yard line. So again, Sachem in excellent field position, 24-yard kick. And we'll give you the time remaining here as we could try to find, looks like 3:29.
It's 3:29 left to go in the game. Plenty of time left to go in this game. Sachem can take the ball. We see Matt Clark knows how to throw the ball. He has some real good receivers. Will Campbell, Dave Caputo. He's able to run the ball.
Tom, you'll remember, though, they burned 2 timeouts on a drive earlier in this half. They only have 1 timeout remaining.
But right now, I'm really not as concerned with that. I think right now you have to hurry up, but it's not a hurry up offense. You just have to be fast. You have to come out of the huddle in 15, 16 seconds.
O'Neal, nothing there as he tried to go right up the middle behind center Lou Antonetti and guards Frank Chavon. And Dan Hollander picked up about 3 on the play to around the 47-yard line, where it'll be 2nd and 7.
And the clock will be under 3 minutes right now, Barry. So time is a concern, but again, you just have to hurry out of that huddle. Keep it moving. You don't have to panic at this point. Again, you know they're probably going to give it to O'Neal, and he's able to pick up 5 or 6 yards on the shot.
Campbell and Caputo line up in a slot to the right. I formation. O'Neal. And he'll be down. Paul Kiernan, number 72, got a piece of him.
Now remember, Barry, just high school football, you have 25 seconds from the ref spots the ball. But if the clock keeps moving, the ref hasn't even spotted the ball yet. 10, 11, 12, 13 seconds just ticked off before the ref spotted the ball. So Sachem has to have, Freddie Fazar has to have his play being sent in immediately. He can't wait to think and sees what happens. He has to make sure he's guessing ahead.
3rd and 3, O'Neal looking to pick up the first down, and has it inside the 45 to the 44. Pickup of around 4 or 5 on the play. They'll stop the clock momentarily to set the chains. 2:15 remaining. And from our end zone camera, you see the wind. They do have the wind at their back.
Yeah, it's swirling and gusting down there. It's not a terrible wind, don't get me wrong. It's not going to be a real factor in this game, but Sachem has to hurry up because they're under 2 minutes right now to go.
O'Neal up the middle, hangs onto the football, down to the 37. About a 7-yard gain on the play. It'll set up 2nd and 3, 1 minute and 50 seconds remaining.
My key to Lawrence right now is don't get lulled into a false sense of insecurity where you think, or a false sense of security, I'm sorry, where you think that O'Neal's going to carry it every time because Matt Clark's going to drop back and he's going to look for either Will Campbell or David Caputo, so you have to be careful here.
Clark 5 for 8 for 49 yards and 1 interception. Handing off to O'Neal. O'Neal has the first down inside the 35 to the 32.
1:26, the clock will start again. It'll probably be about 1:12, 1:15 or so when they're ready to go. Patty Rand has just started the clock.
Conceding the short yardage plays here.
Rightfully so, because there's only 1 timeout left. Let him go 4, let him go 5.
Caputo and Campbell wide to the left at the top of your screen. Clark will hand off on the draw to O'Neal, turns it outside, dives to the 25. Remember, they have only 1 timeout left. Are they going to take it here? The clock is stopped to set the chains. Nope. It's not a first down, so the clock is moving. Under a minute. The ball at the 25. It's 2nd and 5.
There's definitely a sense of urgency here because they have to go, as you see the countdown right there on your bottom right-hand corner of your screen, they have to start putting the ball in the air. There's no more time to run.
Is a slot to the right. Looking that way. Now in trouble. Clark will have to run. He's at the 20 and wisely goes out of bounds to stop the clock inside the 20 and around the, let's see where they'll mark it with 39 seconds left.
I guess I don't want to jump the gun here, but I guess we have to start thinking overtime at this point of the game because when you get the touchdown and they got to think they're going to put the ball in the end zone, do you kick it or do you run it? Take a look right here one more time. Clark drops back. He comes outside and it's smart move. Why go for the extra 2 yards inbounds when the clock goes? Let's take a look here. They have to put the ball in the air every time from here on in, Barry.
1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. 39 seconds to go. They trail by 7. Clark to look for deep here. He's in trouble and will be sacked, taken down
clock
at the 20-yard line.
High school football clock does not stop, so that clock is still ticking away. Paul Cannon comes in and makes the stack.
2nd sack for
timeout.
7th of the game.
Heads up, Freddie Fazaro is right out there on the field hitting the timeout because he knows the clock is going to keep going. There's only 31 seconds left. They never would have gotten down. They would have been down to 15 seconds and had to hurry up the next play. So he's going to throw the ball in the next 2 or 3 plays.
Let's give credit to good coverage downfield. Nobody was open. That was a sack generated by good pass defense.
Remember Nick Schroeder making the statement before, though, that the strength of Lawrence is their defensive secondary and the linebackers. They have better speed than Sachem does. They're going to be able to man-to-man cover you. So what you have to do now is you have to hit a screen. You have to look to take away that. Put some guys down deep and then try to hit on it. You have to hit some crossing patterns, some bootleg patterns, some square-out patterns, something that you know that's going to be precise as opposed to down the field.
Sachem with no timeouts remaining. So the game has come down to this. 31 seconds to go. The ball is at the 20, 2nd and about 12.
One of the things you teach your defense right now is if you make a tackle, you don't get off until the ref tells you to get off the player. You lay on the player. You let the ref tell you get up, son. You don't hold him down there. You're not allowed to do that, but you take your time getting up. Everything is slow from here on in. This is slow football.
Spoken like a true coach, Tom Howard. Campbell has caught the ball 3 times, 3 big receptions. Is he the guy they're going to go to? Lines up in a slot to the left. On the draw, O'Neal at the 15, down at the 12. They have no timeouts remaining.
O'Neal hit a timeout. He's lucky the ref didn't get to him for a penalty. He hit a timeout.
No huddle. They line up quickly. He's got to try to spike the ball. 16 seconds left. You see the time remaining.
Don't spike the ball. Throw it out. Get a positive yardage on this one.
Clark will go back looking. He's in trouble. And he'll throw the ball.
That's
take
intentional
it
grounding.
But that's still smart play.
You're right.
The game would have ended right there had he not thrown that ball away.
Exactly. I agree with you on that call, Barry, but I think if he went, he may have tried to throw out of bounds hard instead of down on the ground. That's my only concern.
Once again, Paul Kiernan with the big defensive play. How many times we've mentioned his name today?
He's been all over, and he may be the defensive player of the game. Greg Nunn may be the offensive player of the game. I tell you, we have a great job by James O'Neal probably, and we don't pick these players. The coaches pick these players, but we've had some great high school football.
Tom, 7 seconds remaining. We've seen the Long Island Championship last year, Class 1, come down to the final play of the game, and it's coming down right here
again. Take a look right here again. Cannon coming in, and he just throws the ball, and as you see, I said try to get it out of bounds. He may have even been trying. He just couldn't. He was just getting wrapped up by Paul Kiernan. It's going to go back. It's going to be right now. Ball is spotted on the 23-yard line. They have plenty of time to get in the end zone. What they need is blocking. The line has to take them. No question, you only have 4 guys rushing you. Sit back. Get those 7 linemen to block for you.
O'Neal, Caputo, Campbell line up wide to the left, top of your screen. This could be the final play of the game. From the shotgun, Clark will operate with Faulkman, the only blocking back. Low snap, he picks it up, he's chased, he runs away, looks, throws towards the end zone, batted down, Bashawn Dixon.
Yeah, 1 second left though. There's 1 second left, 4th down anyway, it doesn't make any difference, I'm sorry. 4th down, they just won a championship game, and you see right now.
So Nassau County goes 2-0 in the first 2 games. Carl plays on Friday, and this time it's the Lawrence Golden Tornado coming up with the victory.
But this gives Freddie Fazaro and the Sachem Golden, the Flaming Arrows, all the credit in the world. They weren't given much chance. They came in here. They played a great football game. A couple of small mistakes changed this whole thing around. Great offense on both teams.
Who would have believed that we wouldn't have any points scored in the second half, the way the teams moved the football in the first half. And for the 3rd straight year, Nassau County wins the Class 1 championship. Massapequa won back-to-back over Longwood and Connecticut. Connecticut won the first year over Massapequa, and now it's Lawrence's
And Barry,
turn.
the question of the field goal early is taken away completely, because if they would have kicked a field goal right at the end of the 3rd quarter, 3 points points, kicked it now, 3 points. It wouldn't have made any difference. They needed to go for the touchdown, so it made no difference
Richie
whatsoever.
Mono picking up win number 107. His only loss this year came to Freeport, 14-6. He's been at it a long time, and a well-deserved victory for his ball club. And they were involved in a controversy, you remember, beginning of the year, where there was going to be Conference 1, Conference 2, and
Sure.
they thought they were going to juggle around.
Absolutely. Pat Pizzarelli, their AD, picked up that there was a difference in enrollment. You just saw right now the mob scene out on the field, the crowd up in the Lawrence bleachers cheering their Golden Tornadoes on to a great victory today over the Sachem.
Well, they've had a great tradition dating back to Sal Champy days, and of course, we mentioned Sal, the great coach at East Islip, who was a Thorpe Award winner in Nassau County back in the
1961,
60s.
Lawrence High School.
And of course, Richie Malo was there as well. Let's go down to the field and check in with our Carl Reuter.
Down here with Coach Rich Malo, and Rich, I don't think that's the win that's causing those tears. These are tears of joy, I would imagine.
We're very happy, I'll tell you that much. Great game to win.
This was a Conference 1, Title I game here, Class 1, powerhouse football teams, and it comes down to the end of the game there, and this Lawrence team just didn't quit. Sachem didn't quit either, but it was Lawrence here.
Sachem has a great football team, great bunch of kids. And you can't ask for anything better than this Conference 1 football game, and this is what you work for. I feel bad for them because they deserve something also, but I got to be happy for my team. It's a great win for us.
A long time that you've been coaching. This was the first time Lawrence was in this football game. What does this mean when you've had so many wins? What does it mean?
We won the championship a couple of times. We won the county championship. We won a divisional championship. There's nothing like winning a Long Island championship. This is something you live for. People work all their lives to get something like this, and I'm very fortunate to have a great bunch of kids this year. That's why we did it.
At any one time this year, Rich, did you put a challenge to the kids and say, hey, we can do this thing?
I've challenged them every game, and in the end, after we lost to Freeport, I kept challenging them every week, and they accepted the challenge. They played their hearts out, and I love these kids. Next year's another year. It'll be hard to get along without them.
Let's talk about Greg Nunn very quickly.
Well, you saw the game. I mean, you know, Gregory runs the show. Vaughn's a pure talent, and Sean Dixon plays his heart out, but you can't take it with just one kid. This whole team sucked it up and played in the last 3 games, played except some good football.
Time to celebrate. Congratulations, Rich Malo.
Oh, we're going to celebrate. I mean, you can't beat this. It's a great feeling.
Great job, Rich Malo. Congratulations on the Long Island Class 1 title. That's it. Final score in this one. Lawrence 14, Sachem 7. We're back with some final words right after this timeout.
Sparrow. Fresh pasta. Fresh salads. Fresh pizza. Sparrow. Lunchtime. Dinner time. Anytime. Sparrow. Always ready. Always homemade. Sparrow. The best choice. The fresh choice. Sparrow. The Italian eatery at a mall near you.
Aunt Ethel and the whole family are visiting, and you get to play tour guide. Uh-oh, your car's in the shop again, and you need wheels. Headed for a wacky weekend somewhere? Whatever your needs, Budget has the car you need. Budget, a smart place to start.
For your car and truck rental needs, call Budget of Garden City at 483-1600.
The smart money is on Budget.
Imagine a camcorder that lets you control focus and other functions simply by moving your eye. Imagine it with a 20 times optical, 40 times digital zoom, an optical image stabilizer. Imagine it offering unparalleled digital effects and a stunning compact design. Now, take a deep breath.
The Class 1 championship of Long Island this year belongs to the Lawrence Golden Tornadoes with a 14-7 victory over the Sachem Flaming Arrows. Barry Landers along with Tom Howard here on the field, and you know, we talked about offense, the great running backs, but it was the defense really, particularly of Lawrence, that told a great story today.
It certainly was. It was a tale of 2 halves, Barry. I mean, the first half was all offense for both teams. The second half, it was the defense, and the Lawrence defense rose to the occasion, holding James O'Neill 8.6 average coming into the game to 3.1 yards per carry in this game.
And they kept him out of the end zone, a guy who had scored 32 touchdowns, an all-time Long Island record, held to no touchdowns today.
Sure. saw both teams threw shutouts in the second half. Nobody can hang their head. The thing is that Sachem had to come up with at least one, and unfortunately, or fortunately for Lawrence, they kept them out of that end zone.
Well, great football game. Two great programs finally getting a chance to shine in the championship game, and it's Lawrence the winner today.
It was, and we couldn't ask for better high school football. Referees did an excellent job. I mean, very minimal penalties. Good, hard, clean, hard-hitting football.
So for the third year in a row, the Nassau County team wins the Class 1 championship. It's the Lawrence Golden Tornadoes, the Long Island Championships. That's our final score, 14-7 in favor of Lawrence. Today's game is brought to you by Canon, by Nynex, by Hofstra University, by Long Island Diamond Exchange, and by the National Sports Medicine Orthopedic Group. For Tom Howard and Carl Reuter, this is Barry Landers saying so long, everyone. Thanks for watching Cablevision's LISN.